Let's go.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah, there we
uh,
are.
join stream. Yeah, so we're with Raymond Benars, a concept artist and illustrator from South Africa. And while we're interviewing him, chatting to him about his art and his work so far, he's going to be wowing us with some of his painting skills.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna. Well, we'll see, dude. We'll see. Maybe I'll do something cool. Maybe not. All right. So this is like the first time ever that I've really like streamed for. Like, I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of people to join us. It's not like I'm ever really done this whole thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna.
So, as a start, let's let's
Uh,
kick off with one of the most common formalities. Tell us a bit about your background and how you found your way into doing art.
Okay. First, let's just quickly check if everything's okay. Can you see my Photoshop screen on Twitch? Just want to quickly check that. Make sure everything is good. I'm gonna try and keep this actually quite informal. I don't.
Yeah, no, I can see your Photoshop screen.
Okay, cool,
Lexi,
sweet.
can you see Raymond's Photoshop in your on your side? Okay, so our viewer can also see it.
Oh, great, awesome. And well, as long as you can hear us and you can see us, we're perfectly fine. I don't. Yeah. Art. What was the question? Where did I start?
It's just the little bit of a formality, your history and how you found your way into
It's
actually
a.
being a full-time illustrator and concept artist.
It's quite the formality. It's a. Well, I mean, it's kind of like that thing where it's like a nerdy kid in a nerdy school, and you just kind of like grew up with certain tendencies to just draw stuff everywhere, or paint, or just in general be how can I say more artistically inclined, less sportsy, all those kind of like things. So I don't know, games, I guess. Like I started playing games and got obsessed with it, and then years later, I think it was what was it? It was like a whole range of different games and so on. But really like I played games. I love the dark fantasy stuff, and really loved Diablo and games like Morrowind and so on. And I really just love the fantasy worlds and so on. And I started playing that, and from there, just drew a lot of like knights and stuff as I grew older. I actually joined the Navy for a bit, and that didn't work out. And a friend of mine there showed me Boris and Boris's artwork and some of Frank Frazetta stuff. And I wanted to get into graphic design. And when he showed me that stuff, I was like, this is the stuff that I got to do. So I just drew and painted. Um, Sucked, but eventually, I think I started working at a photo lab, like a Kodak inside of a mall. And a friend of mine, not a friend, it was like a friend of a friend, showed me a bunch of tutorials on DeviantArt. And from there, like I learned how to digitally paint. My first digital painting was like done on like with a mouse and a keyboard, just in Photoshop. Like I was working in the photo lab and I knew how Photoshop worked. So I had a little bit of graphic design, kind of like photo manipulation knowledge, and so I guess that was an entry point. But I really started at doing like really art and stuff running at about 2009 roundabout, like end of 2008. So yeah,
Okay,
but I
cool.
sucked for like 5 years straight. So it's so it's like I still suck. So it's okay.
I think we all suck at our first art attempt.
Yeah, no, I sucked at like the first 200, 300. I don't know. It's
When you were saying that you were doing art with a mouse in Photoshop, I was kind of expecting you to say you were doing art with a mouse in MS Paint.
no, 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 no. I mean, it's yeah, it's a weird story. So I mean, I knew that like after high school there was either one or the two. Like it was either the military or art. Like I knew that it was either one of the two. And I thought, well, I tried the military, didn't work out. Uh, I sucked at that big time. I don't like it if people tell me what to do. I don't have that personality. Um, and yeah, excuse me, I'm just looking for a bunch of references that I saved previously, but I can't remember what I did with them. So I need
No,
to
it's
like,
okay.
I think it
Yeah,
was
it's
a.
like I remember I also almost joined the military straight up after high school
Oh yeah.
because I was looking for a way to study for artisanal career like boiler making or
Oh yeah.
carpentry or something like that, and I figured I'll get my studies through the military and then move on like that. But that didn't play out as I thought it would.
It never does, dude. Yeah, I mean, I still have a friend or two that's in the. Well, actually, one friend. Like I can't really remember the rest of them that's still in the Navy, and we talk from time to time, and it's cool, But that wasn't the life. That was not for me, It was never. It was never something that I was meant to be doing, and but I like that. I love that. Almost like the military traditional kind of stuff, the elements of that. I found it always found it interesting, like the mindset of like a soldier, and but I'm not that guy, so it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like the whole thing of welcome back, Lexi. So the the whole thing with the military, I can't see myself
Nah,
getting up
nor
with
I.
that strict
Like
regiment and
I
like.
think I think my outlet nowadays is I play airsoft. It's like as stupid as it gets. Like sometimes I pretend to be like but that's also just like me trying to be like, I need to get out of the house and just not be in a little cave all by myself and just do art all the time or play games, or I mean, it's a form of exercise, I guess, and just, well, social thing, I guess. So it's I absolutely just love. I'm a very solo person, so if you lock me up, I'll just stay at home for like days. Well, I am locked up, and I've been at home for a few days now. Like what's it, 3 weeks? 7 weeks. 7 weeks on about that. I think.
I think
I think.
it's
I think we're
it's
almost
you
touching
know
8 weeks now. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
yeah, it's about 8 weeks or so that we've been locked down. We're not allowed to leave the house. So Raymond, just
Yeah.
a quick shout out. We've got a guy in the chat here. His name is Ian Vigner, and
Mm.
he's actually a professional digital matte painter
Yeah.
who's worked on quite a few productions, and I invited him to join us. Oh, he's on 11 weeks of lockdown already. Yo,
11 from where is he?
he's at the moment in Montreal,
Oh.
and what's quite cool about Ian is a good couple of years back, I did a matte painting of my own, and Ian had a look at it, and then he gave me a lot of feedback. I think Montreal, Canada,
Oh yeah.
and he pointed out things that I never really even considered. And this is one of the things that I never thought about is, but doing the when you in the painting that I've got a ship
Mm-hmm.
that is too close to the beach, and Ian looked at it and he goes, Neil, not many people realize this, but there's actually a minimum distance that the ship can be from the shore. And
Yes.
then I was just like, what? And then he pointed out to me about my piece, and he's like, if you were going for photorealism, this is what you would need to adjust.
Yeah. No. Um. Yeah, dude. It's always. that's the main thing. Like a lot of people don't understand that it's actually there's science. You know, like everything needs to make sense. You know, like you can't just go and draw a picture and you know, hope it works out. Um, just because you need to put you need to do research and put the knowledge behind whatever you're working on. Like if you're designing armor, you need to understand it. Like if you design, I mean, unless it's in a different world, but then even if that is in a different world, so let's say it's like World of Warcraft, uh, that world itself still has its own rules that you need to abide by. So you can't just go and draw characters and hope it works, or you know, like you need to do the research, make sure that everything makes sense to whatever you're doing. You know, with regards to whatever you're doing, and yeah, so that's very true. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so
I'm a bit of a slow start, so I'm taking my time here. Like this is like the
it,
first time I've ever done a live stream, so yeah, this is quite interesting. What were you saying? Are you guys there? Hello?
uh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm yeah.
Okay, cool. So, with your what would you say has been the biggest inspiration or influences to your art style? Apart now from you said earlier when you started, you saw Boris's work. So anything along the lines of Boris Vallejo, Frank Frazetta, or Craig Mullins, along those lines?
Um, it was a weird thing because like back in the day, it was just like I just wanted to do art, man. I didn't have like a lot of people just they all have all these you know like inspirations and stuff, which is fine. I did have a lot of that, but mainly I just wanted to do fantasy art. So it's like I didn't care what it was. So a lot of my inspirations came from you know movies rather than artists. Like I was looking at movies and so on, you know, and I was looking at games like again like Diablo and those kind of games, and I just wanted to create cool stuff, mainly like warriors and knights and all that stuff, and all the you know all that kind of stuff. It's
And
yeah
I remember now what you're saying, Knights and Warriors, when I met you for the first time in person
yeah.
at Comic Con last year, and I I mistook the weapon of your one character when he had a lance,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
I was like almost about to say halberd.
yeah. No, absolutely. Um, yeah, and history, dude. Like, it was a weird. It was really a weird time for me because I also like I always also come from this very small, not a small town, but uh, like a semi big city, you know, and it's a very old school vibe where you know everybody there was like either like how can I say they were either or, you know. So they like it's a mining town almost, you know, where a lot of a lot of the people there either worked in mines or you know worked in the power stations there, or you know it was a very industrial place. So it's a weird place for an artist to grow up and be like, hey, you know what, it's yeah, you know, it's it's such a weird.
Yeah, I also grew up in very similar setup where you either an electrician or electrician or a mechanic or a boilermaker or a carpenter, but the idea of pursuing a career in creativity is nearly unheard of. And
Yes, yeah,
if you can draw, then you were considered to be, you're either going to become an architect or a project manager of sorts, but not an artist. It's like,
Never.
what?
And if you say the word artist, they also don't understand what you want to do. Like, you want to make some paintings. Like, what is a digital? Like, back in those days, you're trying to explain to somebody what a tablet is. Like, it's like, and I'm talking, what was it? It was around about 2009, 2010, around about there. Also some, like, even like my dad, like, he didn't get it at all. Like, my dad, my mom, none of them, like, they understand. Okay, cool. So it's like, what do you want to do? You want to work on games? Like, nobody works in games in that in the place where and also keep in mind, like, this is South Africa, so it's like nobody here works in games. Like, if you go back in time, the people that do work in games, they all live in America. They all live in the States, round about where all the game companies, California, a lot of places in the UK. What, this stupid mining town in South Africa? What are you gonna do? You're wasting your time. There's a lot of backlash as well, which is not the people's fault at all. Like, it's not their fault that um, people in general don't understand what these guys are, what I wanted to do, or what, like, it was almost like, dude, I don't know what the hell I was doing back then. I was just like, I want to do art. That's what I did. So I just drew and painted, and um, eventually, I just started putting all my stuff online, and as I did that, eventually it started getting some track, and some people started, like, people started getting, realizing what I was trying to do, and all that, and I started seeing some artwork, and I got my first gig like that. It was a I was not prepared for it, not even a little bit, but that's how it goes.
I don't think any of us are ever prepared for when
Not even a
we
little
get
bit,
that
dude.
message. They say, listen, dude, we've got a gig for you. Are you interested?
I don't even know if I'm, like, prepared nowadays. Like, I literally just wing it. Like, I get, like, some random, client contacts me, or, like, I'm say yes to a job, and I'm just like, he wants this and this and this, and I'm like sitting here at home ripping my hair out, like, wow, how the hell am I gonna do that? Like, it's crazy. And,
Yeah, I
like,
can.
it's like, but it's almost like a daily struggle. It's hard, because but then again, this stuff isn't supposed to be easy. This is not easy, right? Anybody that says that this is going to be easy, it's kind of like they're bluffing themselves.
Yeah, I'm with
um
you on that one. I remember it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I this is shortly after the digital matte painting I was telling you about earlier with the ship in
mhm.
the beach. I got a message from a visual effects production house here in Cape Town. They messaged me saying that they're busy working on a pitch for a production, and if I would be interested in perhaps being part of the gig. It
Yes.
would
Yeah.
be a very junior role, uh, digital matte painting section, and I'll just need to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
And I remember getting that NDA email, and I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, my first NDA.
Yeah. Don't ever mess with that stuff, dude. You want to, yeah, be professional always. Like,
Yeah,
it's yeah, you don't ever wait. I'm trying to mess around with the mixer brush, but I'm still trying to learn how the mixer brush actually works.
yeah.
uh
I
I
think
absolutely love
it's.
this tool, but it's such a, oh, I want to cut a layer. That's why
I
I'm
don't know. The
struggling. Okay.
last time I used the mixer brush, I remember it being something about loading the brush with the paint and then doing your painting with it. But after each stroke, the brush unloaded and reloaded. So it's it's like you're using an actual artist brush with
Yeah, I
actual
mean,
paint.
there's cool settings up here, so I can change the wetness and the load and stuff. So if I reduce the load, I basically the brush actually runs dry. Like, I mean, obviously, I think so. I'm not sure. I still have to figure all that stuff out.
So,
But I'm not busy with like a masterpiece here. I'm just messing around,
dude,
trying
it
to.
looks amazing. Like I'm getting this feel of like a sort of a. You remember Lord of the Rings? I think it was the second or the third movie, that mountain where Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli have to go. They have to leave the encampment with the
Yeah,
Rohan
to
soldiers
to
to go to,
basically do to go get the ghosts
yeah,
or
to
the
go get the
specters,
ghost.
right?
Yeah, the mines of Moria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm getting that vibe. Thanks Shade Runner 777 for that.
It's no, it's not Mines of Moria. It's just where they went to get Narsil.
Mm, yeah,
Oh no, 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 no. That's like after they had Glamdring, and they wanted to just get like the soldiers that died that didn't, you know,
mm.
didn't commit to their word. And I have only watched the movies. Like, call me a fantasy artist that's never read the Lord of the Rings. What a hypocrite, you know.
Dude, I haven't read the books either.
I did
I
start though, but I was just like I'm a lazy dude. I struggle to read sometimes.
I got about halfway with book two, and then I just started falling asleep. I mean, Tolkien created a masterpiece, but I just couldn't read through half of the second book. I was just like, no, I can't read this. It's too slow paced for me.
Yeah, no, it's uh one thing to consider as well is like a lot of that that book is written, what is it, like 57? I mean, Hobbit was written in 39, I think.
I
You know,
think so,
so
yeah.
it's what is that? Like that's a long time ago. And Tolkien is the how can I say, the master of fantasy. You know, I would say the king of fantasy. But it's old, man. It's
Oh, we got Shade Runner 777 in the chat now saying the place where Aragorn and them went is Harrowdale, the caverns
Harrowdale. Yeah,
between Dwimmerberg.
that's Hendrik. I love Hendrik.
Oh,
It's my bestie, man. It's my bestie.
it's got your back.
We would have been yeah, there would have been such a big ass fight if he was not in this chat right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So,
Like like there's not even a way that he wouldn't be here. Like the chances of him being here is greater than me being here. You know?
yeah, it's like we all got that. If you had to enter a boxing match, you know who you got in your corner.
Yeah,
So we,
that's always the guy, man.
yeah.
He's that guy. Yeah. No.
So where would you normally go look when you have to start a new brief and you've got your description of what the client is looking for, and let's say for example with this scenario, the client is looking for a horror themed, magic wielding, undead type of character. What would you say is your first route to go find references and inspiration?
References. Always get like that's almost like the a given. You always go like, and at least for me, like you always do your research. Um, Generally, I mean, I work in a games company, and sometimes we just don't have time. But generally, what happens is nowadays, like it wasn't always like we weren't as effective as we are now. Um, but our art director does some research. He sends up like a bunch of boards. You know, like this is what we're looking for. He shows us a bunch. Like we have like a little bit of a discussion. You know, it's different between him and generally, let's say I get like a freelance client that's doing like a book cover or something like that. It's two different scenarios. You know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
where I'm just gonna photo bash some stuff here.
go for it.
This isn't like a concept piece. There's no
No worries. Yeah,
like you what
on the topic of photo bashing, right? I actually remember a conversation I saw playing out on social media not so long ago, where you had this one. I can't remember where I saw the thread exactly, but this one person posted a picture on the Facebook group, and then it was a photo bashing piece, which
Mm-hmm.
in my view is perfectly fine. If you're photo bashing to create a visual to get a message across, perfect, go for it. And then this person that posted the piece just started getting a lot of hate from quite a few of the users in the group, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, why are you all going at this guy for photo bashing? And till this day, I still don't get the whole thing of, if it's just to convey a concept or a message, and it's not a final piece, surely
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, everybody photo bashes. That's the thing. Like, this isn't generally a piece of art, as in a traditional piece where authenticity is everything. And believe me, I love that shit. It's my bread and butter. Like, I love straight up just painting something. At the end of the day, this is a this is a product. This is a piece of a bigger picture. So let's say you're working on a game. This is a concept piece for a game. It's not the be all and end all itself. We generally have timelines and time frames and deadlines and stuff where things need to get done very quickly, and you can't, like, if you get a job and the guy says, listen, dude, I need this character or these two or lineup of characters or whatever by the end of the day. You can't just go and hand paint everything from scratch. Generally, if I see comments like that, I just write it off as like, these guys still need to learn quite a bit, you know. But then again, you can't just blatantly just copy something like I just did. Like, this is, you know, and then just, oh, it's where people can identify, okay, cool, this is where this is from. Like, you can't just copy and paste stuff and just leave it as is, you know. You'll see, like, I just copied this is a screenshot from a movie. I just snapshot it. It's a frame inside of a movie, right? But the moment I'm done with it, you're not going to be able to you won't be recognizing it. You're not even going to see it. Basically, what this is just to get some noise inside of the picture itself. And for me, it's just a starting point to be like, okay, cool. I can grab some colors from here, and I get the general pattern of what I want. You know,
Mm-mm.
so it's a way that I can speed up the process.
Yeah,
I guess if you want to
there's no
call it
such
that.
thing as cheating, and there are shortcuts.
No, there is. Yeah, I mean, there is obviously cheating. There is a wrong form of cheating. So, um, basically, what I did now is I put in this photo in here, but now I'm going to use the mixer brush. I'm going to sample some stuff. Um, Let me just put that back. I'm going to sample some stuff and look at this. So I can create noise with whatever I just sampled. And I'm going to start painting over this, and you won't be recognizing it. And this is just me, you know, adding noise and stuff inside of this painting. And the thing is also to consider is, like, if you look at this piece, it's like, or this picture, it's kind of like, a person's eyes are very, or the brain works very in a miraculous way. It's very intelligent, so it recognizes patterns and it fills in the spaces where there's no detail. So if that's why paintings, like, if you paint something, you have a focal point. You don't paint in everything. You paint stuff, you keep stuff loose, and where you want the focus to be, that's where you put the details, and your brain picks up the story elements outside of your focal point. And yeah, I don't know, I'm probably talking shit right now, but yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. It's like you identify some things and then you recognize it, and then there's other things, but it's always, it makes me what you said now makes me think about guiding the viewer's eye to what you want them to see.
Exactly, yeah. No, absolutely. It's Yeah, that's how we roll.
So, say now, for example, you couldn't be an artist and you had to do something outside of being an artist. What do you think you would have ended up becoming?
A fireman. No, I'm joking. A stripper. No, I don't have the body for that either. Shit, I don't know, man. Um, like I'm guessing with my temperament that I have, the type of if I weren't being an artist, I would have been an artist. You know, I would have been a different type of artist. Uh, Not that I know how to make music, but I think I would have either gravitated towards that or I would have uh, done writing. I would have written. And I'm actually trying to write as well, but sorry, I'm just drinking some stuff as well. But I'm still a noob, you know. I don't know how to write well yet. Like I'm trying. um,
I think we're all just here actually trying our best and literally just doing what we can to get good pieces of art out there, and that's all we just do, and other people like it.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so art. Like I'm an artist. I'll always be that. I'm never gonna be anything else. I'm never gonna try anything else. There's no point in me doing anything else. I love this stuff. So it's like even though it's like I pull my hair out, you know, it's hard work. It's long hours. It's all of that.
So now,
But there's nothing else, you know.
so now with that being said, what's been your most favorite moment in your journey so far as an artist?
I don't know. I've got no idea. like, um, I don't know. I think last year's like some of the I think individual pieces of art. You know, like if you finish something great and it's like really good and you're like, oh man, I actually nailed that thing. I think that's like the best. Like, and that's not one particular thing. It's a lot of small moments. You know. Um, yeah,
Uh,
but
uh,
that is a hard one because I've got so many different ones and I don't know exactly
okay,
which one.
let me rephrase it with a little bit of a different question, which is also uh, one that hits right in the feels. Um, have you ever encountered a moment where you just wanted to give up, but you got over that, and then once you got over it, you realized I'm in the right place for myself, doing this for a living?
Yeah, that's happened before. Um, it's but it's not because of art. It's because of external factors. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail because it's actually quite personal. But it was there was some a few years ago. It was like maybe 7 years. Was it 2015, 14, round about there. Um, my dad had a company and the company didn't do well. And what happened was I had a very nice freelance job. I was working on a project for about a year, and the money was good, right? But it just I don't know what happened, but all the stars just aligned and everything just went to shit, like very quickly. Uh, I think my mom lost her job. Uh, First of all, no. I was working on this project. I didn't have any other freelance. I was green. You know, I was just first big freelance job that I ever got. Quit my job. You know, started doing that. Worked on that for about a year. It was a game, and then all of a sudden, investors just pulled out, and you know they couldn't pay us anymore, so had to let us go. You know, so I went back and lived with my mom again, and then it was maybe 2 months in, and she lost her job. Like again, the stars aligned, and all the bad things happened at once, and we hit. I just kind of hit rock bottom, dude, and it was either it was either go on or just find something else. And everybody was telling me like, listen, dude, do you think really that the art is working out for you? And I was just like, nah, it's working out. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. And then yeah, I went bad for about 2 3 years where things was just, I wouldn't say 2 years, maybe 2 years. It was just really bad, and I was just grinding and living off smaller freelance gigs, and like very very how can I say, uh, not not big freelance jobs, just low paying jobs. And but perks of being in South Africa is our currency exchange rate aren't that high, so you can actually live off not a lot of dollars. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
one of
but it
the
was it was quite interesting. It was a weird time.
yeah the point you raised now about the dollars to the South African rand, because of the exchange rate. South Africa is very um, I'm losing the word now, appealing to work with for the international market, because for us it's quite a bit of money, but to them it's not as much. So
No,
it's a good return on investment to use South African market. Just a quick question. Uh, are we recording this live stream? Because I know that with Twitch it will be on your channel for a few days. And we can
yes,
just
I am recording it.
okay, cool.
I'll also send you. I think I'll send you the actual
Because
recording
I
when I'm done.
received one or two messages where two of the viewers had to drop out because their internet is really bad and they would like to watch the stream a bit later on again.
Sure.
Whoa, dude, what sorcery did you just pull off here? Because what I'm seeing is, if I had to look at this piece now, and it it looks like I'm standing on like a graveyard where there was just a big battle, and it looks like it's in a canyon because the slopes on the side look like mountainside faces.
That's exactly what I'm going for. So I guess I'm successful. Um, yeah. So that's
So, um, now you know from our experiences how random I get sometimes with the questions or the comments I make and stuff. So I'm gonna throw you a bit of a loaded question to say, but are you okay with pineapple and banana on pizza?
perfectly okay. It's a personal thing, dude. Like people don't need to get militant about pizzas, dude. Like seriously. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a pizza, dude. Like, what are you gonna do? Start a war? Like I know there's some purists out there, but you know, yeah, it's absolutely to each their own. Like if you, I mean, do we want to get political about this, or do we want to
Uh,
just keep it straightforward? That's completely up to you.
I think let's keep it straightforward because the once we enter the political realm,
No, no, no. We're not entering politics. We're entering pizza politics.
oh,
There's
true,
there's a
true. I mean,
difference, dude.
I like pineapple on pizza and I like banana on pizza, but I don't think I'll put the two together. But maybe I should try it sometime
Well,
and just see how it is.
yeah, but again, like it's not a question of should you or should you not. It's a question of should I or should I not, because it's an individual thing. Like if you want to, sure. I can't guarantee that you're going to be happy though. That's a different question altogether. So
That's also true. It's like,
it's like, but go for it. Try it out. Try it once. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like to each their own again. Like
we just got a shout out from the username is QOFE. Now that is short the acronym for the Queen of fucking everything.
that's
And
probably, I don't know who that is. It's
That's
probably
a
the
that's a
queen.
friend of mine. Well, it
Oh,
is a queen. It is a queen. It's a
all
friend of
hail,
mine who
all hail, the queen.
once he puts on his tiara, he thinks he becomes the queen of everything. So he gave a shout out to one of your art pieces of a knight with a lance running in a forest on a horse with a red plume.
Now, yeah.
the link is in the
I know
chat.
which one he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of his well, one of her favorites,
Oh, that's
saying the queen.
it's yeah. No, I thanks. It's well the one in the forest. I'm guessing. Um,
Yes, the one in the forest.
yeah. So
So let me see here. When you look at a piece of art and you see it evolve, and you know once it starts taking a shape or form, and you notice it's going a good direction that you like, would you say it takes you to a point where you noodle away on it some more and then come back with fresh eyes once you get tired? Or would you, in other cases, put it down for a bit, work on something else, and come back to the piece to prevent you from getting bored of it?
all the
So I think what I'm asking is how do you avoid getting bored of an art piece?
I don't get bored of art pieces. Um, and nah, I'm old school though. I can spend days and days and days on one painting, which is I guess not a lot of people can. You know, uh, it's a well. I think again it depends on the job. You know, what are you doing? Who are you doing it for?
Yeah, that's
If
also
it's
true.
if it's a concept art piece, it needs to get done in one day, or you know, again like sometimes one day, sometimes you need to be able to be you need to be flexible. That's what I'm trying to say. Is
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a heads up for the viewers, we with the audio and the video, we do have a 5 second delay with the stream. So by the time you guys hear us, what we've said happened 5 seconds ago. So it looks like we're going back to the future,
so
but
what you're trying to say is we are living, me and you are living in the future.
yeah, basically. But um, I wouldn't set the DeLorean to go to 2020.
Not yet, dude. We're getting there. Depends on how slow my internet is. Yeah.
Ian, Ian commenting that it looks like a ghost that's disintegrating, and it actually does look dope. He's right.
I should just keep it like this and
Yeah,
stop
I would.
working because it's already what I want it to be now. You know.
um, if you could be, no, this makes me think now the ghost disintegrating, and I'm thinking Thanos glove with the Infinity Gauntlet. If you could be any villain or hero, who would you be and why?
Who would I be and why? Uh, any villain,
It can be a villain or a hero, either or.
dude. I don't know, man. Like I'm too much of a nice guy to be a villain. I don't know. Like world domination is not in my to-do list, you know. So show me a villain that doesn't want to dominate. Actually, I do want to dominate the world. Um, if it means we can get like all the coffee in the world, sure. Um,
We're getting some decent replies in the chat. We got Coffee saying she'll be the evil queen, and we have Ian saying he'll be Ultron or the Silver Surfer.
I think you know what I would do. I would not go villain. I would totally go, you know, um, anti um, anti-hero. I'll totally go that route.
So what
And
about Deadpool?
no, he's too much of a jokester. I'm too moody, man. Like I wouldn't be able to do that. Uh, give me Wolverine any day of the week. Any day of the week, I'll be Wolverine. Um, not much of an anti-hero, but you know what I'm saying is
So with Wolverine, with Hugh Jackman having retired as the Wolverine, as far as I remember, who do you think would be a good?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and I know that Hugh Jackman also recommended Tom Hardy to take the mantle of Wolverine. So on the topic of X-Men, and you're not allowed to say Wolverine for this one, but who is your second and third favorite mutant?
jeez. As if I'm I'm a good mutant, like um, Deadpool for one. Well, I know he's not really technically X-Men, but he is still a mutant. Uh, but I would also go for Quicksilver. Dude, Quicksilver's cool. And yeah, that's it. Deadpool and Quicksilver.
Your art piece at the moment is making me think a lot of Dark Souls and Demon Souls at the moment.
So yeah, the darker the better. Um, I am noodling. I'm putting in detail again, which I should not be doing. But yeah. So
Like um on the topic of games though, I remember when we were talking about the coffee giving some good names there. So first Mystique, then Magneto, and then Emma Frost. Those are some strong mutants.
you're gonna still realize, dude. Like my knowledge of like nerdism, like any geek culture stuff, is not that big. Like I'm a history nerd. That's what I'm geeking out of. Like ask me about the Battle of Hastings, dude. I can go on about that for days. But yeah, which is weird, isn't it?
Well, not really. I mean, a lot of our art is, and a lot of the art lessons we get today is based on history. For example, a lot of the studies that we get told to do if we want to study concept art is to study the masters.
Yeah,
So, if you look at the Hudson River School with their paintings,
Albert
and
Bierstadt,
so, and then also,
Thomas. Was it Thomas Moran as well?
I
Yeah,
think so, yeah.
yeah, no,
Queen. So in the chat, Coffee is saying, in history, Elizabeth Tudor and her were such good friends, and she misses their tea dates. Now, something to remember about this persona of Coffee is that Coffee believes she's older than time. So, and every time when I have to film an episode for her, I just humor her.
okay.
So she's saying she knows Elizabeth Tudor. Although Elizabeth, the Tudors, that era of history, I can't say I'm too familiar with it
I think
though.
that's 15th century. I'm not sure. Like I haven't done much research on that, but I think that's 15th. Am I right? Like I don't know.
Oh, there's a funny question now. Which Marvel movie was the Battle of Hastings in? I don't remember that one.
It's
Um,
probably Thor. I think that was 1066 was the Battle of Hastings with William the Conqueror.
yeah, and the Tudor period was between 1485 and 1603.
There we go. 15th century to 16th century, I guess. That's not bad.
Hmm, no, it's not bad at all. But although I know that I just threw some shade towards the coffee, it's like we're actually really good friends in real life. Just the disclaimer out there.
Yeah, that's good.
So, earlier we had a little bit of a question about from Alexia Rosen asking which demon must I sell my soul to reach this level of mastery. That remembering that comment now reminds me of a question I asked quite a couple of times when I interview artists for Pixelsmith Studios posts. But what would you say is the most important discipline to develop as an artist that will carry you through your career and open up paths to you uh, for future endeavors?
I wouldn't call it discipline, but I would call it character traits. I think it's persistence. I think persistence and open-mindedness. You know, I think those are like some of the big thing, and humility. Being able to be like listen to people that's that know what they're talking about. And sometimes you think you have the right answer, but somebody else might have a better answer. And being able to you know take yourself out of. But I think this goes for life in general. If you just want to be like a but it extends to art, especially in our industry where you're going to work with a lot of people, and you need to be able to first of all communicate with all of them on a professional level, and you need to be able to also take criticism, uh, give criticism, because the opposite is also true. Like sometimes something, and you need to be able to give that to somebody else, or give your message to somebody else so that they can actually listen to you and not disrespect the person, but also be like firm. Like there's a balance. And that goes for juniors, for seniors, for everybody. Like I've seen plenty of people that's just plenty of amazing artists that's just their people skills are just bad. Like they don't know how to work with people. And not saying that I know, I'm just saying, but I think that's one of the most important things. Because technical skills you can always learn, but um, being able to communicate and talk to people, and that's being social. I don't think social is the right word for it, but being able to, again, like just be a good communicator and team player.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, this is a team game. Like you're not going to be on working on a project where you're the only person there. Like even if you work solo from your home and you're alone and you're just doing like correspondence via email, anything like that, then you're still gonna have to sometimes phone up a client, and he still want to like talk to you on the phone about, or via a Skype call or Google Hangout, and say, listen, dude, I need to we need to talk about this project or something like that, and you still need to be able to communicate, get your point across, while at the same time listen to the client, listen what he wants, and then effectively, if something's not working, effectively communicate to the client, listen, that's not a good idea, without offending him or making him or pissing him off or anything like that. And also vice versa, you sometimes need to be able to say no, and you also need to be able to sometimes, you know, take out your own opinion and just throw it in the trash for a bit. And then after you've done the job, you can take your opinion out of the trash can and just, yeah, I've got opinion again.
I like that one. Throw your opinion in the trash, and after the job's done, you can take it out.
Yeah, it's that one there took me years, to understand and learn, because I'm a stubborn guy. Like I'm very stubborn. Like I can be very, very, very stubborn.
No, I can get that. I'm liking the answers we're getting in the chat as well, and I actually love that the viewers are also sharing their answers as I ask you the
Oh, do
question.
share, dude, because I love
Uh,
to.
so we've got Ian saying, "Just don't be an asshole."
Yes,
Uh,
yes. Oh, that whole 10 minutes that I just spent talking. You know, that's it. I could have just summed it up in like a sentence. Don't be an asshole. That's like the best skill in this industry is don't be an asshole. You know?
exactly. Yeah. Then we have Coffee saying, "Any art needs an audience and a client, and if you're a very vulgar word, it won't sell. So appeal to your people for whom you create." And why I relate so closely to that, and with what Ian said, don't be an asshole, is my full time work is design and animation for corporate. So I get a lot of, can you take this or that element out because it doesn't align with our brand? And even though creatively it is solid and sound, and the creative decisions are correct, because it is someone else's brand that I'm working on, and I need to be aware of their corporate identity and their branding guidelines. So it then reaches a point where my creative input has to be taken out of the picture because their brand guidelines take priority.
Yes, yes, yeah,
And
absolutely.
as a designer and an animator, I have to be respectful of that. And in that specific instance, my opinion means nothing.
Exactly. Your skill does, you know, like you have to. Again, it boils down to you need to be able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and just walk in their shoes for a bit and be like, okay, what does this person really want? Because at the end of the day, you're working with visual elements. You know, like you work. Everybody, like you can explain a picture to anybody, and every person on this planet is going to have a different idea of that picture. You're trying to explain with words. Like if you were to explain it with words.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to have, like, if you read a book, like a fictional fantasy book, and the dude describes, like, somebody's outfit, a character's outfit or something, nobody is going to have exactly the same picture in their head. Like, even, it doesn't matter how in depth that description is, it's still not going to be the same.
that's also true. And Ian also in the comments now sharing a very valid point, saying, and I'm going to read his comment, it's good to be aware of their brand, but at the same time, it's good to educate the client. At
Yes.
that point, the opinion stands, and more times than not, the client will listen as long as you can back it up with fact and reason. And then it's up to the client again, but at least you get your voice heard.
Yeah.
And that is 100% accurate because you do get clients who will listen and they will take your
Yeah.
opinion into account and go, you're actually right.
Yeah.
Let's change and let's adjust to what you're saying we should do. And if you, like he also said, if you can back it up, more times than not, the client will listen.
Yes. I'll use an example. It's not necessarily a client situation, but not so long ago, we were we busy building a new game right now. That's about all I'm gonna say about that. Can't share anything more about it. But there's some decisions whether you know our the direction that the company wanted to go in was either or. Do we have characters that's well designed with almost like a skin like design type of characters like League of Legends where you basically unlock a character and the whole outfit is already there versus do we create an inventory system with a standard character and we just slap on some armor and we just do like armors and stuff. And I was like, man, we need to design like a shitload of armor because I'm an RPG gamer. Like I love my RPGs, you know. And then the guys were like, no, dude, but and the guys just said no, and I was like, that's not good enough, you know. I need to know why. But then, like, I went and I actually spoke to some of the 3D guys that actually have to make all the characters in the studio, you know, because we're not a big studio. We're less than 20 people, you know, so it's a mobile game studio. And I spoke to some of the guys and they literally went through and said, okay, listen, so this is technicalities that we have that gives us fairly limited stuff. You know, for instance, we have to like bake in shadows and stuff because we're not running a big engine like Unreal Engine where we can just with the rendering or the graphic capabilities of like a computer. This is a mobile thing, so cell phones don't have the capacity for that stuff. And so we have to like bake in shadow, so it's a very technical thing. And I'm like, okay, cool, that is a valid reason why, you know. But also it boils down to like, okay, this is what I want versus this is what's better for the project or whatever we're working on.
Yeah, I can understand the technicalities and stuff. For example, if you look at game models,
Mm.
um, it's triangles and not four
Squares.
corner quads.
Quads, yeah.
Sorry, quads. Normally it's not quads because of the game engines, and it has to be has to have a low polygon count,
Yes, yeah,
and a lot of times the textures get baked into the
exactly,
models
yeah, exactly.
because you need to save on computing
That's
resources.
exactly the reason. And like if you, it depends on how big your game is, but the thing is, like a lot of the times the games that we make is more higher end and visually better. So we almost like at the edge of what mobile can handle. Um, so it's like that's what we're going for, and yeah, we also want to put a ton of stuff in the game. So you can't always go too crazy. Sadly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like for games, you can't go crazy. But now, sorry, Ian, I'm gonna call you out on this one and put light on you. But Ian, working in digital matte painting for visual effects, more often than not, the digital matte painters will find themselves making 360 paintings of landscapes, and it has to be photorealistic for the
Mm.
productions. And in those file sizes go, I mean, yeah, I don't even want to start thinking about what those Photoshop's file sizes are. Ian, if you can, please drop a message about some of your craziest Photoshop file sizes. And those things are huge. Sometimes it's a 8K Photoshop canvas, or there we go, 60 Skydome with 300 layers. So, I mean,
Yeah, no, dude.
once you hit film, then the file sizes and the pro- production resources required just go through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's ridiculous. But again, it boils down to the conversation that we had was don't just give me a no answer. I want to know why. Generally, which is a good attitude in my opinion. But again, like don't just always just take yes for an or no for an answer. Sometimes you have to hit back and. But then if you hit back and the guy gives you a solid reason, then you got to back off. Sometimes it's just how it is.
Yeah, yeah. One of the viewers who dropped off earlier asked if, with the recording, if we can forward to him or where we will be uploading it. So, like we said earlier, we are recording this and we'll be uploading it to Pixelsmith Studios' YouTube channel, and I'll share the link
Yeah, I
where it can
think
be watched afterwards.
Yeah, I think I might drop it on my own YouTube channel as well. Not that I have much of a YouTube channel, but there's always a
Well,
first time for everything.
yeah.
We'll see. Maybe not. I don't know.
How about we drop it on yours, because we are using your Twitch now as well,
Yeah,
and then I will share it on Pixelsmith Studios' channels, that people go and watch the stream on your YouTube. So let's do that.
yeah. No, sounds good. We can totally do that. Uh, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out a bunch of stuff in this. Like I need to like I've been noodling away on this picture, and I need to be just take like a few seconds to just actually look at some references because you know. Okay, but yeah, I'm good.
So I'm reading one of the comments here quickly. Yeah, there's Alexia raising a good point there with communication. And I'm in her Discord server, the Alexia's Art Hangout, and she's actually the Discord owner there, where she's created this little community
Mm-hmm.
of artists to support each other. And her comment actually makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you will have a client like that, where with her, what I experienced is the client brought in their personal issues, and even though the whole time they were saying they like the work, at eventually then the client was just flipping and saying, "But I don't like the work anymore." And it's just like, that's why communication throughout the whole process is
Yeah.
important. And I see that she says she sometimes asks even up to 50 questions or so with progress, and that is perfectly fine, because over communicating is a lot better than
Oh, absolutely.
under communicating.
Absolutely. I'd rather like ask and answer a bunch of questions. Like I've learned nowadays that if you have, like, let's say you start a new job, uh, if you're working with an art director or something, then set up some time where you can have like long discussions. See, the more prepared you go, and the better. If you're working remotely from home, then do a Skype call. Make sure that you've got like a list of questions. But like what I'm saying is like always come prepared with a bunch of stuff that you need to know for the project that you're going to be working on. Um, yeah. So, but
Yeah, you
also if you have a crazy client, which I can imagine if they come with their personal issues and stuff, finish the job as best as you can, and go on with your life. Like if people bring back, sometimes you just need to get rid of clients as well. Sometimes you get a client that's just crazy, so you don't want to work with crazy people. You need to keep your sanity in check as well. you know I think.
Yeah, so have you ever had a time where a client like that affected your self-confidence
All the time.
and made you think that your work was low quality or that you as an artist started failing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of like the learning process, I guess. Also, dude, you can speak with people sometimes and they're like the nicest people ever until you start working with them, and then
I've been there.
woo, yeah, um, shit
Yeah,
just goes crazy, man.
I,
But generally, I would say you kind of spot them. Like if you've been doing this for a while, you kind of spot them a mile away. Because they're all of certain type of personality types or whatever that just don't mix with you. Or certain people just they for instance, I'll use this as an example. You can spot from a mile away when a client doesn't know what they want. And if a person doesn't know what they want, then I typically just avoid it, because that just opens a whole can of worms of like struggling to figure out what this guy wants. So you do something for this person, he doesn't know if he likes it or not. Um,
kind of
when a guy opens a sentence with "I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want," then it's kind of like, cheers, dude. I wish you all the best. Find another illustrator for your book.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. It kind of made me think of a incident I had where the client told me, I'll know what I want when I see it."
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Well, you're not gonna see it from me because I got shit to do. Like I can't. Oh, that looks shit. I can't waste my time. I can't waste my time trying to figure out what you want in life. Right? Go see a psychologist and then come to me. Okay? Uh, that's mean, but that's my philosophy on that. Yeah.
Uh, no, dude, I know it does sound mean, but also at the same time, it just like saying it like it is.
Yeah, like sometimes. I know. I don't know. Guess what time of depends on what time of day you catch me. If you catch me in the morning, uh, I might not be as diplomatic as I would be at night.
So
Um,
I'll catch you when you just woke up, you haven't had
dude.
your morning coffee or breakfast yet, and then I'll tell you, listen, dude, we need a painting, but we don't know what we want.
No, I will just say, listen, dude, I'm busy. So I
Yeah,
I got diplomatic answers for every question in the book, dude. you know,
yeah. Getting one of the comments in from the chat with Ian saying, "Now imagine film directors when they don't know what they want, and 4 months later in crunch time, they then decide what they want, and it's due a day later." And I think that is a universal experience, not just in film, but also in marketing and design. Like with March, I saw it happen. I've seen it happen before with other companies where I worked. They wake up like 2 or 3 days before a promotion is due to go live, and then we end up working 2 to 3 in the morning, sometimes even working straight through with only 1 hour of sleep, and classic agency life.
Yes, yes, yeah.
That actually
That's
makes
movies for
me.
you, dude. That's movies for you. Crunch times all the time. You know? Yeah.
Yo, I'm laughing now at Ian's comment. Some people need a high five in the face with a chair. I couldn't agree more.
Dude, and I don't know, like, I've not worked on cinema, right? I've not worked on a set, but I have friends that have, you know, like there's, and I've heard some stories, you know. I mainly work in games and book covers and illustration, fantasy illustration. I don't really work in concept art for movies yet, all right, because I still want to try that. I don't want to do that for a living because I know you really, really do crunch and um, not that I've got anything against crunch, but I don't
Yeah,
think
sometimes the
like
pressure just does get
I
a
just
lot.
don't think it's very healthy. You know,
So this whole part of this conversation actually makes me think about burnout, and it's an actual thing. And not many
yes,
people realize how serious burnout actually is. I mean, sometimes it can take you out for 2 weeks, sometimes even a month.
sometimes the rest of your life.
That too.
Yeah, but that's a you know like you that's a weird conversation to have actually because again like I think it's not just about the art because you'll hear a bunch of artists say oh no I never get burnout or and then the other people like me like I get burned out um, but it's not about the art itself. It's a personality thing. You know that I think is absolutely because you get different people. Different people react to different things differently. So burnout is an actual thing. Because I've heard people say, okay, no, burnout is not a thing. It's like, no, man, it's only like the weak people, like only weak artists. No, it's
No, everyone gets burnout.
like if you grind like that, like dude, let's say you work for 10 years straight, you crunch, like you're one of these amazing artists that just can do that, you know, and you just just avoid the rest of your life, you know, like you don't. That's kind of like me. I'm describing myself now, you know, like
Yeah, we got a question.
the only thing in your life is art, like that's me,
Yeah,
sadly, right?
one of the questions now in the chat coming from Ian. Um, what's your fear within a burnout?
um I think I think I've pretty much figured myself out. So I kind of like understand what to look out for. I understand myself. I love doing research into psychology and I love that stuff. So I kind of understand it. I also understand how my own mood affects me, and burnout is completely mood orientated. Um,
Yeah, one of the users who joined us, Milo Wildcat, also a friend of mine. She's saying she had a friend who couldn't draw or make art for a year because of burnout.
yeah,
And that is another example of how bad burnout can get.
yeah. But for me, it's a gradual thing. So I can go. Uh, it's a very. I can go 3 4 months grinding like a madman, and then I burn out for like a month, and then I can go back to 3 months grinding dead, and then I'll burn out for a month. But I've started to regulate myself in a sense of like, listen, dude, just give yourself some time. Like take weekends off, go for a walk, that kind of stuff. Not that I ever go for
Mhm.
walks, but like getting out of the house, take a ride, go to the mall, go watch a movie with friends, that kind of stuff. That works magic for a burnout. And if you kind of like just manage your expectations first of all and your life, the time that you spend in front of a computer drawing or whatever you do, whether it's music or if you just kind of managed it a little bit better, you kind of sort out the burnout problem. That's my opinion.
Just, it's better to avoid burning out than trying to treat the burnout. It's the same as with taking care of your health. Prevention is far better than cure.
Absolutely. Not that I can
I,
say much, like, but I'm at the moment I'm not living a healthy life, dude.
I
Not
don't
even
think
a little bit.
I don't think any of us are really living a very healthy life given the
Yeah,
quarantine
no,
and the
absolutely.
lockdowns and that were happening. I like your friend's reply, Shade Runner, go play airsoft. I mean,
With
I've
myself, I've got a nice garden here. I could seriously do that.
yeah,
Uh,
I haven't done airsoft, but I have done paintball, and I would
it's
really love to go play some paintball again.
yeah, no, dude. Airsoft is a shitload of fun. Funny enough, actually, I'm gonna shame Hendrik now because me and him did once. We were testing out the camouflage. Like I'm busy. I built the ghillie suit and all that, and I know it sounds stupid. 30-year-old guy, 32-year-old guy, building a ghillie suit to go shoot BBs at other people, at other grown men. Sounds stupid, but I'm still a kid, so I don't care. Um, anyway, me and him was like putting on the ghillie suit and then seeing if we can find each other in the garden outside. Which, funny enough, is a ton of fun. You should really try it.
I think once we reach a point where we don't have like a level 1, 2 or so, where lockdown is completely lifted and we've had vaccinations for COVID, then I'll go out and play again.
I don't think that's gonna happen soon though.
Adult hide and seek.
Adult
um,
hide and seek is the best, dude. You
um,
should totally play it, man.
I'm reminded now of Good Omens, um, and I'm gonna say now spoiler alert,
It's fine.
and gonna give it 2 seconds before I start talking about the scene I'm reminded of. So
I haven't seen it, but go ahead.
where you have the two characters enter this one spot where there's a work function happening, and then they're busy playing paintball, and then the one character gets shot, and he thinks that they're in an actual space where there's actual guns, and then he looks again and he's like, "But I don't bleed yellow," and then he realizes that they're in a paintball match.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I remember what was that movie called? It was like the silly love triangle movie. This Means War with Tom Hardy.
I haven't seen it.
There's like a paintball scene in that movie that was really ridiculously awesome. It's like these two special forces guys that goes and play paintball with a bunch of kids. It's ridiculously funny, dude.
I hope the kids win.
Oh no, they wasted them, dude. Like, completely just destroyed the kids.
So I'm going to come back to your art piece here. What I've noticed now is you've got a very muted palette so far that has been in blues and grays.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're
Now
adding
it's
green
not.
now.
Now it's green, dude. Completely
So
green.
one thing I've learned previously is, do you know the grisaille painting technique?
Oh my gosh. Starting with technical questions again. I know, dude.
Well, no. So it's where you work in black and white or one tone of colors, like you did
Monochrome, yeah.
monochrome. So this is what you made me think of now. And then, hey, look at there! There we got some neon greens. The paintball.
It's
Someone went paintball crazy.
that's what I said. Like, not anymore.
Yeah. So you just made me think of that now. Then you introduced green, and I was like, ooh, this is pretty cool. We're breaking up the monochrome with a little bit
No,
of.
not even a little bit. Uh, yeah, I need to do some color studies again because I'm starting to do this a lot where I'm just like working in one tone. But I love my muted colors. Like it's something that I love. It's like that movie Ridley Scott feeling to stuff. Like just because Ridley Scott does it a lot, um, where it's kind of like just very desaturated colors and very moody lighting and so on. You know.
Yeah, it's like I found with my own work because I'm still learning quite a bit, and I mean if I'm looking at your your painting here, get as far as 2, maybe 3 minutes into the painting, and then I'm maybe like, what the hell am I doing? But you can actually convey a ton of story using monochrome before even starting to worry about color. And it
Yeah.
makes me think of when you're thumbnailing. So you have to get your concept to read at a thumbnail size in grayscale. Then once you start adding color, it will still read, your concept will still be solid, and you won't need to worry that your story gets lost unless you go overboard with the color and you start making bad color decisions. But if your concept and your piece works at a
Mm.
thumbnail scale in black and white, then you
Yeah.
know you're gold.
Dude, if you see the bit, like I'm making it super small on my screen now. You'll see like it's literally minuscule. I need to look at an image at one, let's say 2 centimeter by 1 or 2 centimeters. You know, like almost literally a thumbnail the size of your thumb. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I saw you zoom earlier
yeah.
as well. You zoomed in and then you zoom out and zoom in. And like we can see the story as you're working on it, even so zoomed out. It's like you can
Mm,
see there's an object, it's silhouetted, and when you zoom in, you're not worrying that much about the detail on the character, but we can see that it's a fantasy warrior or knight with armor and a sword and a shield, even though you don't have a crazy level of detail,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
the story is there.
Yes. That's all. That's all about. That's all. Again, that's silhouette. That's mood. That's atmosphere. Um, you know, it's all about, again, like the focal point. You know, it's you only render the focal point. Um, that's rich coming from me because I render the shit out of everything always. If I have, let's say, more than 2 days or 3 days for something, I'll just go ape shit on it. Um, which is what I like. I like doing that, you know. But even then, I will always put in more effort for the focal point. And sometimes I render something to death. I'll be like, listen, and then I'll take it back, you know. Just take a random brush over it and remove all that detail, just to make sure that the focal point is that there's still a good focal point. But everything is about the drawing, you know. Like things need to make sense at a simple level because you can't make a painting good by giving it detail. It just doesn't work ever.
Yeah, it's if
Composition, lighting, and narrative. It's like it's the three go hand in hand.
That's like and Mano Wildcat in the comments making a really good a really good comment, especially with logo design as well. If you can't see the thumbnail in black and white at 2 centimeter size, it's a bad design.
Yep, very very true. That goes for any kind of visual stuff. Like if you take a movie screenshot, you make it so small, you should be able to see what's going on at any given time. That's why these what is it like that movie of like movie fight scenes like Born Identity, where it's like they fight, but the dude that's recording the video, like just or the cameraman is just like shaking the camera. Like that's stupid. I hate movies like that. If I see a fight scene like that, I just want to vomit.
Yeah,
Like it's
and
just
and then you
ridiculous.
get a good fight scene like Mad Max Fury Road, where they centered the action in the middle of the frame for every time something takes place. They made sure it's in the center and all the focus is on that specific moment in the frame.
Yeah, no, dude, absolutely. And there's a group of movies that I really love. It's got some of the best fight scenes in called. It was an anime, and then they made live action movies of it. Ruru Kenshin. Uh,
I haven't
Japanese
seen it yet.
movies. It's amazing. The fight scenes in there is like, and this is Japanese cinematography at its best. Also, movies like Dunkirk, where or where they've got like a single long shot, the camera doesn't shake, but the action is, it's just, you don't need to shake a camera to make a good movie. I wish that people would just get that, It's
Yeah, you can have a
I know
solid
it's a, I know it's
lockdown
like a,
camera.
I know it's like a, like a modern concept, like you don't have to shake the camera, but yeah.
Yeah, and then Shade Runner also highlighting a good fight scene, Witcher.
Oh,
The
yeah.
the first episode, that fight
Oh,
scene in the village. I
dude.
mean, like if you guys haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah, he was like, we were sitting, like him and me were sitting, like I was on a job. I think I actually posted that same painting today. I was busy painting that thing, and I was supposed to go because it was just before Christmas, and was it? It came out the 20th or something. And I remember telling him like, dude, we're just gonna watch one episode, and yeah, I should
Yeah,
have I should have finished the painting. I did not.
I can understand that. I was with Witcher, I was like that, and then also there was another series where I was just like, okay, that's one episode, just one episode. 3 o'clock the next morning, the whole season one later, I was just like, it was one episode at
Yeah,
a time.
pretty much, dude. Yeah, no, absolutely. One episode, and then like, never works out like that. It's always a little bit more. I'm already starting to screw this painting up because I'm rendering too much. So I'm gonna get a little bit loose. It's what I was talking about earlier with just you know, you sometimes need to just, whenever you start, or whenever I start to focus on something, I get tight. Like I tighten up. Like in the moment I feel like my muscles
Yeah.
and everything getting tight, I'm like, okay, listen, dude, now is the time that you need to just start loosening up a little bit.
We've got a new viewer joining us, Gavin W01. Welcome.
What's up, dude?
Sorry, we switched over to Raymond's Twitch about, and I thought I changed all of the links, but I must have missed a few because Raymond's streaming is already set up for this. And okay, cool, Ian. We'll definitely do more, and I'll definitely have you on a chat as well sometime.
Ian sounds like a cool guy.
He is. He actually that digital matte painting I was telling you about, the one with the ship. He took it from me, and then he looked at the PSD and he gave me a breakdown, but like a complete breakdown of what needs to be fixed and how to fix it. And he sent
Mm,
me like a whole 45-minute QuickTime video on how to fix my problems in my painting. And it's just like, this guy's amazing.
yeah, that's good, dude. Yeah, it's, dude, when you meet somebody that's willing to help you out, then go for it. It's always good to meet to like. I mean, we get it. Like every artist is super busy and stuff, and sometimes, you don't want to bother people, but if you ask somebody for help and they actually give you help, that's priceless.
Yeah, it's
I wish I did more of that when I was like doing, because I feel like I never went out of my way to ask people for advice, and it's stupid. Don't do that. you know Right, so obviously there'll be a little bit of subsurface scattering on this thing, so I'm just gonna,
yeah, it's like a little flag.
let's give it another color. Let's go red, orangey. I don't know what I'm doing.
I have an idea. This is just me looking at this piece, right? What if you made the one if you wanted to introduce color, made the knight wear something red, and you made the flag blue?
No. No. If you do that, then desaturate it a lot so that you can almost not see it, in my opinion. That's the way to do it. Um, like if I do, like probably a lot of people just disagree with me now, but I don't care. It's fine. They can disagree. It's their
We
problem.
always,
Don't make your problem mine, okay?
well, we have to be able to disagree. I
That's
mean,
yeah. I can do that, but it will still be desaturated.
yeah,
Let's see.
I think with the color palette that you've been working with, if you had to suddenly add a lot of saturation, it won't fit.
Yeah. No, it won't be like for instance there. That's blue. You know,
Yeah,
that's fine. But if I do that, then I'm gonna have to go in all over the place and just be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna have to make because shields are painted. Shields are very colorful, so I'm gonna have to literally go in and you know paint up like colorful shields like that, and I have to like do everything, and I don't want to do that.
yeah.
I mean, it's cool.
Uh,
You could do that. Let's just do some random pieces here. Alright, now I'm just gonna slap it on a blending mode and see if it works. But this is very rough, so let's say soft light. Push up the light. There we go. And now let's see. Maybe yeah. I mean, nice little green. But I mean, this is a very moody, atmospheric, desaturated
yeah,
thing, you know.
it's been very monochrome from the beginning, but also it kind of fits the whole picture for me. Like
Yeah, I just
very subtly adding color. I would agree with you
I'm
100%.
doing a monochrome painting because I haven't done color studies in ages. That's the truth. Let's not dispute it. Nor I'm gonna lie to you. I wouldn't say I suck at color. Uh, I just suck at colorful. Okay, that makes sense.
We got Shade Runners saying, "I don't think green is the way to go, bro."
Dude, I'm yeah no we don't like environmental. Let's not go green. Let's go red.
Dude, my coffee is finished. No, why is the coffee always gone?
So I was clever. I got some Coke and coffee.
Ah, see, one step
Well,
ahead.
now my coffee is also done, so
Ah, damn.
I don't have anybody that lives with me that's gonna make me some coffee.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I've got a kitten on my lap, so I can't even get up to go make me coffee because of law of cat.
Yep, I nearly said something. I have two cats as well, and dude, I was like before I'm gonna do this call, let me just sort the cats out first. 'Cause,
Yep.
what a bunch of babies, you know?
Yeah, but we still love them.
Oh yeah, of course. Except Hendrik, he doesn't like him.
What? How can you not like cats?
Hendrik, why don't you like cats?
Suddenly, everyone is looking at the comment section waiting for an answer.
Perfect. How many people do? We probably don't have a lot of people in here.
No, we're currently on 8, which means we're actually on about 7 or 6 or so. But we were on 13 or 14 earlier. And that's actually pretty awesome.
That's not too bad.
He's
And
like, bro, I like
left the comment section when I mentioned
that. No, he says that, bro, I like cats sometimes.
no, he
Oh
doesn't.
yeah, we've got the State of Nation address coming up soon.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't care.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, we do care, but I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'll catch the recap afterwards.
Yeah.
Cheers, Milo. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. So
Oh, this is. I mean, this is not too bad for like a fit. This feels just like a normal hangout for me, you know.
yeah,
We used to do hangouts a lot, but I don't really do them that often anymore.
the only thing I'm actually interested in finding out from the president's address to our country about the lockdown restrictions and stuff is the schedule for when they're going to gradually lift the lockdown and how they're going to go about it. That's all I'm really interested in. The rest of the stuff, I pretty much know already what's going to be said and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like. We'll watch it later. Like I just want to do art now. I don't care. I mean, it's I mean, I do care. I mean, it'll be kind of
Yeah,
stupid
no,
to say that you don't care.
yeah,
Um,
we do care, but it's just we kind of know already that we will be able to watch after what he said, and there's no way for us to say or do anything to change what he is going to say. So
yeah, it's kind of
we'll
like
we'll just find out afterwards what our fate is.
what our fate is. Do they want us to? Because yeah, I mean, they are doing some crazy stuff, dude. Like, I mean, I think I'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Imagine now this uh, call or this stream gets gets dug up like 3,000 years from now by aliens, and then they're gonna be like, "Wow, these guys discussing politics in an art stream. Art must have been really influential during those days."
You'd be like, this guy's drawing this thing. This must be like what people looked like back then. Yeah, definitely, dude, definitely.
Dude, I would really not mind being associated with looking like that. Like a knight
I
with
don't
a
know,
sword
man.
and a shield and armor. Although I would prefer some padding and some proper design for comfort, I mean, we get with the times. We don't have to wear armor that bolts on that you can't go to the bathroom anymore.
Oh, dude, who said you can't do that with medieval armor?
Yeah, just you just put a little a
I don't think
flap.
you can do that with like a spacesuit.
Yeah, true. I
That's
I think I heard from someone before, and I can't vouch for this because it's something I heard, but astronauts have to eat a specific diet so that they don't fart while in the spacesuit because the methane gas actually damages the some of the filament they use.
I don't know. I've never been an astronaut.
Like I said, I heard it, so I can't vouch for how true it is. But it's quite funny if it is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's I wouldn't surprise me, dude. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff that's just all right. I'm gonna make all these things point to the dude.
I think the actual reason they shouldn't fart in the suit is because where is the gas gonna go?
That's also, you have to smell it for like hours and hours on end. It's most definitely not going into the atmosphere. How did we get to that? Like, we're supposed to be talking about cool stuff, but now we're talking about really cool stuff. I mean,
Ooh,
the cool thing now is you want to put some light ones in here as well. You can't just go with. No, that's not working. I don't know what else to do. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff I can do,
added
but
dragon.
no.
A
Sometimes you
little.
need to be able to say no as well. It's yeah, that's I love this brush set. It's like very traditional looking brush set. I'm gonna try and get maybe some more silhouettes in here.
It's like I see your brushes all set up and stuff, and then it makes me think I've got something. I think I have 16 brushes in my Photoshop loaded at
I've
any
got
time.
folders and folders and folders of brushes.
I literally just use about those 16 brushes.
I
Shade
got
Runner's, yeah.
sorry, you were saying?
No, it's like Shade Runner's comment from politics to space farts. Art is amazing.
Dude, I mean, if there's anything worth talking about, it's gonna be space farts, dude. Like, I'm just
Someone,
curious. I'm just curious to know, what does a fart smell like after 3 hours? Does it still smell the same? What if there's 5 farts? It's mixed in with like, that's not.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole. It's
It's
not something I want to think about. Like 5 hours? No.
I don't even know if they can stay inside of a space suit for that long. Um,
I don't know. Maybe if they got an air feed coming from the space station, then maybe.
maybe. Yeah.
This actually creates like a nice scenario of how long can an astronaut be in a spacesuit? Completely excluding the space farts. But if you had to consider how long can they be in that spacesuit, floating around the space station, doing maintenance, and just not being in the space station itself. I
I'm not
almost
a,
feel it's
if I was an astronaut, I would have been like, hey, yeah, this is how long. But I don't know. See, I'm literally just painting in some noise here, making some of the stuff not.
and now I have 2 cats sitting on my lap.
I have 2 cats not sitting on my lap. It's just a sad day, man. It's a sad day. Jeez, that's some very social cats you've got there.
Yeah, the one sleeping on my lap is our youngest one. Her name's Mishu. And then the one that literally just joined me now, she's our one-eyed cat, and she's one of our eldest. She's about 7 years old or so. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
Jessie.
Jesse
And
Pinkman.
so when we got her, we lived in a street called Jessie Street.
Oh yeah,
So we always joked saying Jessie from Jessie Street.
Jesse from. Oh, okay. I'm thinking. The problem now is I've got all this layers and stuff. Like I just because this is just a speed painting, right? So I'm just not a speed painting, but it's not a finished. I'm not sending this to a client or anything.
Dude,
So
this
I
is.
don't care about layer structure. That's what I'm saying. So
You're saying you wouldn't send this to a client. I'm looking at this. I'm like, damn, a client would love this.
probably, but I mean, I'm not gonna make changes to it off. That's what I'm saying. Is like I'm not gonna make changes to it or anything like that. So what I'm really saying is that my layer structure sucks. Oops. See, that's what I meant. Just give me 2 seconds here. I'm just gonna. I need to find. There we go. What is this? Soft light layer right there. Let's merge these. Pull it over. I think I only had one blending mode. Merge these. There we go. Okay, now. There we go. Sorted.
Oops.
Problem, no problem. But I have a certain aesthetic for this character that I want that I'm not really feeling it right now. Cool. We need to make this into a comic book. What do you think?
Yes. The knight that stood on the precipice
No, I'm
of
not. Yeah.
his enemies while his creator was talking about space farts.
Space farts, dude.
That really does need to become a comic.
Hang on. I'll show you what we're doing right now. I'm gonna make a group there. Let's do this. Let's do this.
One of the comments is Emperor Palpatine. Do it! I said that with a little bit too much bass.
Probably. Okay, let's see. Okay, who's gonna give us the funniest thing?
Let's see what we get.
We're gonna need some. We're gonna need some stuff, man. We're gonna need something funnier.
Uh, I'm thinking. Have you ever watched One Punch Man?
No.
Neither have I. Others that have said do something from that comic because I get told to reference that quite a bit.
I don't know. Do
Um,
you see any anime artwork on my screen? No.
I see a speech bubble.
Yeah. Let's call it space farts. Is it one word? I don't even know if it's one word. It should be one word because
It's
it's
not
one
now.
thing.
It's a title, so it's one word.
Also, I mean, I don't think the font is really fantasy enough. Yeah, comic is finished. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We need a better joke here. Okay, but I'm gonna hide it until while I'm working on this.
Oh.
Okay.
The space forts killed all the enemies. We didn't even have to raise our swords.
Nah, come on. Like a movie quote or something. Give me something funny.
Um, I'm thinking something from Quentin Tarantino would be fitting here.
Uh,
Um, say what one more time,
motherfucker.
or even Shade Runner. Tonight we dine in hell.
That's not Shade Runner. Oh,
No,
oh, that's from 300. That's Shade Runner
yeah,
that
the
said it.
300 or
Well,
Pulp
dude,
Fiction.
like everybody's already dead. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so
Come on, dude. Like,
wait. I can't bow because we've been sharing our content, our culture with you this whole day.
that's
Or
okay.
this was Sparta.
I know what I'm gonna do, and this is one that I've already done before. Uh, okay, beat this one.
Okay.
If you can beat that one, I'll be happy. Okay, and $20 for the person that can say from what movie this is.
Yes, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Oh. From what movie is it?
That is Lord of the Rings. I believe it was the Two Towers,
Yes.
and it was they're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Yeah. Okay. But I've already had that quote for a few days now, so I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's kind of cheating, but if anybody can come up with a better one, then I'll give them something. I don't know, 10 rand, maybe
Uh,
more.
I don't know. 10 rand isn't worth much for the international market. I think that's like a half a dollar.
I'll give you $100.
Or um, still counts as only one.
That's the elephant, dude. Like
I
elephant.
know. Yeah, but still, it's like you got this one guy standing in front of this entire dead army.
Yeah, it's a one army. Okay, fair enough.
It's
Well, I'm
like the
not really.
Punisher. It's a one-man army.
Shit. I just deleted it. Hang on. Still, I don't even know how to not make mistakes when typing.
I
Shit.
think
I
that's
can't
all of us,
zoom in
dude.
while I'm. Yeah, there we go.
That's all of us. I mean, when I have to do copy in my design work, I pretty much go to the copywriters, copy paste, and then
Um,
once I've pasted, I check, and then I go back to them like, "Hey guys, please check if this is correct."
and people send me like documents to fill in, and I don't have any Word documents or like Word programs on my computer, and I'm using Photoshop to fill in documents.
I've been there as
Jeez,
well.
dude, it's ridiculous. That's actually funny, dude. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, well, we've been doing this for almost 2 hours now, so
Yeah, I think we could, well, we did initially only book this live stream for 2 hours,
did you
and
book it with? Who did you book it with?
with my Google Calendar.
Oh, dude, oh, do you have plans afterwards?
No, no,
Mm,
except
mm.
other than refueling my coffee and actually just unplugging from society for a bit.
Oh,
I think let's call it in about 10 minutes, and then
I mean, I
go
can
and
still
do our
go
own
on
things.
for. I mean, I can still go on for a while. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna
As long as
I'm
it's
gonna
before 1, I still work. I'm still working tomorrow. So.
yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely clock out in about 10 minutes from most things and just play a few games or play a little World of Warcraft because my fiance bought me some game time today for
Oh,
30 days.
that's
And then
nice.
I'm probably going to play for about an hour to hour and a half and then go sleep because I still need to get up for work tomorrow morning.
Perks of having a fiance. My cats
Dude.
aren't buying me anything.
You need to. Well, that's the thing is with a cat, they don't buy you anything. You buy them everything.
And it sucks, eh? What a bunch of
It's
like.
it's like the when the cats get visited by past, and then she asks them, "Are cats still worshipped in the modern world?"
Oh,
And the cat will say, "I don't know, but I poop in a box and the humans clean it for me." And then Bast will go,
that's
we
good
did
enough.
well.
That's good. That's good. I'm gonna put some asymmetry on this bloke because it feels a little bit too symmetric.
Shade Runner saying cats are needy. I don't think
That's like
any.
girlfriend practice, dude.
Wow. Shots fired.
I'm joking, dude. Don't.
I won't quote you on it. Just remember, you're going to upload this to your YouTube.
Well, if I was a girl, I would have said this is boyfriend practice. So, same old, dude. Everybody's needy at some point. I can be needy. I can be very needy.
Yeah. And Alexia saying there that her cat only wants cuddles when she goes to bed. And I experienced that with my cats as well. Like this one that's on my lap, she's passed out, so I don't even need to cuddle or anything. She's just sleeping.
Mm.
So I can still carry on painting and working and stuff. But when I do get into bed, Jessie will come and lay on my chest and she'll like purr and like just try and find a soft spot for when she wants to murder me later. It was
Yeah,
her acupuncture,
absolutely.
and we just sit there like, yes, knead away and purr away. It's fine. Little do we know that they're looking for a soft spot to kill us later, or when
Dude,
they do,
I
to get rid of our bodies.
cats, dude. I had the weirdest like last night. I just get in bed, dude. Like it was late. It was like 2 o'clock. I was still working up until then. Um, and I go to bed late always. It's just how I roll, you know. And I just hear this big ass crash, like splash, crash. So I've got a fish pond just outside my window, and the cat thought it would be a good idea to go catch some koi fish, and he fell inside, like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm there trying to dry my cat up with um, like a towel. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, when my fiance and I lived in our previous house, there was a pool, a swimming pool, non-functional, but
Mhm.
you know, South Africa, Western Cape, drought and all that.
Yeah, I remember that. So
And the pool had water in it, but it was about a quarter full.
yeah.
And we're just getting into bed, and it was December holidays, so we were still up at like 2 in the morning online playing games and stuff,
Mhm.
and we just hear splash, and we hear splash, 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 splash. Splash. So the cat had jumped into the pool by mistake, I think, and then just like ran and swam across the length of the pool. We're still not sure what happened. And we just tried to find the cat. All we had to do was follow the water trail into the house, into the corner of the lounge, got the cat, dried it off. And the whole time we're just laughing, and we can't stop laughing because the cat went into the pool.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Man, also, they go on killing sprees. Like, bringing me like, I'm trying to sleep at night, and I'm sleeping, or like 3 o'clock in the morning. I just hear like agonizing birds screaming, and then the cats are busy torturing and killing a bird under my bed. It's like the best
Ooh,
feeling in the world, man. Just,
yeah,
I'm just
no,
like, bad
definitely
timing,
not.
dude. Why did you have to?
I remember at one stage, there's one house also the house where the cat went into the pool. We had a shrew in the room one night, and it got into the bed because the cat had brought it into the bed, and I just feel this thing running across my back, and I wake up. I'm like, "There's something in the bed! Something
Yeah.
in the bed!" And I get a fright because I was just asleep. And then the next thing, I'm like, "Oh, it must have been my imagination." And I've dozed off, and as I'm about to doze off again, it runs across my hand, and now the shrew has this long nose, like it's almost like a trunk, and I'm just like, "What? There's something running in." And then the next thing we notice, there's a shrew, and it can't get off the bed because the bed's too high for it. And the cat had brought it into the room and just sitting there on the edge of the bed, just looking at it, running around up and down, up and down. And I'm just like, "You asshole cat!"
Yeah, dude, let's add some crazy cool stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna noodling.
Dude, this thing is it's like you did this in 2 hours from scratch.
Yeah, it's not that impressive.
Wow, not that
You
impressive.
should see me with
Wow.
a guitar.
I'm just
Okay.
picturing now if you had the chance, if you had 3 days to do this piece,
No.
the little lines that you're adding now reminds me of Skyrim when you use the shout for the dragon armor.
Oh, this.
Yeah, the little white lines that you're adding now that looks like the the light catching the phrase and the edges of the armor, like
Now
the little specular.
the problem I have with that is like you see where this is like super bright. Nothing at the bottom is lit like that. So I need to
Yeah.
go in now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use I'm gonna paint on the top layer. There we go. Um, I'm gonna put that on lighten, right? And then I'll just give me a nice little. I don't know. We'll see. And find my. That's why I'm not done yet, dude. I don't know where you want to go. I'm just gonna paint in some details, I guess. But if you want to call it, then we can totally just I can finish
No,
this in my own
I,
time. And
I think what I am gonna do is I'm gonna make me a cup of coffee and then come back.
oh, sounds good, dude. Give me a question to answer. Is there any more questions or anything like that?
Yeah, we've got Shade Runner, we've got Alexia, and we've got a guy named Brent who I recognize his nickname Infamous B. So they're still in the chat. If you guys have any questions, just pop one or two or three in the chat box, and then Raymond can answer questions while he's
I don't
working.
know if I can see the chat box, dude.
Uh, oh yeah, true.
I'm not on. Yeah,
So,
I can't see it.
okay, no worries.
I'm not on Twitch. That's the thing. Like I'm on.
Oh yeah, you're on Facebook, on Photoshop
Yeah, I'm
and
just on
Discord.
Photoshop, and I've got a
So
bunch of
Photoshop.
references open.
So, let's see here. If you were to do a portfolio review, what are some of the important things you think an illustration portfolio should contain?
Storytelling. Illustration and storytelling mainly. So I guess I would say yeah. I mean, it depends on the artist as well. So you could get an artist that has some stuff nailed down, but composition, storytelling, lighting. Uh, I mean, if you're looking at illustration portfolio, you need to be able to, for instance, I would say good practice for that would be to actually just break down movies and see what makes them tick. A good book to read would be Framed Inked for composition and storytelling itself. So if you're doing illustration, can you get an idea across with just one scene? You know, can you do something with just a little bit of information, or with a limited canvas of just one piece of square? Um, can you get a message across? And I think that's very important. But yeah, I mean, aside from all the fundamental issues like, you know, compositional stuff, can you, the mistakes, tangents, kind of that, you know, bad lighting, you know, you do get a thing called bad composition. Like, obviously avoid those as much as possible. But yeah, I guess so. Not that I'm trying to think of anything else, and let's see. I'm just going to push the saturation up a little bit. Let's see if I can. I don't know if my answer is valid. Like, I don't know if that's a good answer though. Like, I'm trying to think of something, but there obviously is a better answer than that. I mean, it's not the best answer I've ever given. I'm gonna have to look. Like, if you guys want to send me like a portfolio or anything, and you know, if you want me to have a look at it, then just send it over. Like, I don't mind like doing that. I've done a few. I've also had my portfolio looked at by a bunch of other people recently, and you know, so it's not a it's not a big issue. I got an idea. I was gonna say let if Hendrik is still there, but if we can maybe send me a bunch of I can't see the questions. Hang on, let's see. Maybe I can. I'm on my second screen. I'm just gonna look at the. See if I can quickly open the chat and we can have a look. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna mute my other side. There we go. Now I can see this. Oh yeah, I can see the chat.
It's like I've got my fiance sitting next to me. She's like, "Hey, love, that is so good." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not even that great." I'm just like, "Oh." Yeah. Alexia.
Yeah. Okay. I literally just open up the chat.
This one viewer now that we have here, Alexia Rosen. Having seen her art myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just being too humble there.
But dude, that's me as well. We're always the humble people. I think I put too much white and stuff in there. I'll just have to dial that back a little bit.
I'm actually I just went to put water in the kettle now and put the mugs ready for coffee. But what I'm going to do is while you're painting here on this Switch, I'm actually going to fire up Photoshop on my side and paint as well because now I'm looking at your piece. I'm just like, okay, no, I can't sit here and just watch you paint. I also have to paint now. Now I'm feeling creative.
Yeah, no, dude, go for it. Like, I mean, who's gonna stop you?
Only myself.
Yeah, only yourself, and if you're married, maybe your wife. I don't know. Like, I don't have anybody that's gonna stop me. My cats might start meowing any time now, because that's generally around about the time they're gonna start begging me for stuff, you know. Because they do that. Just when you start sitting, it's gonna like. Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm changing a bit, yeah. I'm not a big fan of that other stuff. See, now this is where I'm starting to nitpick, where I've already like kind of figured out everything, but now I'm just like, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm just gonna change this, and then 20 minutes later you look at it, and I'm like, but now it sucks. You know?
Yeah, I know how that feels. It's like, well, at least that's one advantage of having one of the viewers not happy that you took out the horns.
Now I'm gonna put them back. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna put better horns there. I feel like his head was just a little bit too big and stuff. So give it some time. See, I have. I thought I would. Actually, I have another character that I really like. That's for something. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds. Just give me a bit of time. I'll be with you now. Just opening some references on the side. I'm just gonna. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay, let's go.
Got Brent asking what version of Photoshop is this?
This is CC 2018. I don't. I got like the newest Photoshop because I buy my shit. I know, right? Wow.
Don't upgrade to CC 2020.
No, dude, I have it on my computer. Like it sucks.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
it
using
messed.
20.
Like I can't sample colors correctly. It's got so many different shit that's just gone wrong with it. You know, I don't know why they messed it up. I don't know how or why they did that. What the hell is going? Oh, but see, I want to make him look a little bit to the side. You know. Uh-huh. This is mindless rendering now.
Usually that's me when I do my silhouettes. I just put down shapes and then I see what I have to work with once I've laid down shapes and silhouettes. And then once I see what's forming, then I start etching away and building a story from that. And that's normally when I just start painting without a clear final image in mind.
Yeah. I would like. Here's the cool thing is like I'm not using any line art or anything right now, so I don't have to like be super accurate. I can just mindlessly paint.
Got a really cool comment here from Alexia Rosin in the viewers saying she's been sketching while she's been watching the stream and she managed to do a ghoulish type face compared to the whole piece almost done. And that's actually pretty cool. And she's actually learned a lot from watching you work.
Oh, thanks. What did you learn? Because I don't really think I'm not a. I don't know. Am I? I'm just like I feel like I'm messing this up. Like it's honestly.
Actually, from my point, what I would say is the fact that you're putting so much contrast on the guy standing in the center. He is the story, and I
Yeah.
would do that. I don't think you've gone overboard with it. I think you did it. For me, I would say that's a really good decision to add
Oh
that
yeah.
highlight, that excessive white
So
on it.
so here's the thing. So I don't think the problem is necessarily that I've put too much light on him. It's just that I haven't indicated the light. So check this out. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. And bam. Now all of a sudden that makes more sense.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
That thing over there. And if I then yeah, but that's a last minute thing. So sometimes it looks like shit up until the point where you put in that final last step, and then all of a sudden it's all good, you know.
Alexia saying that it's watching the whole process and showing it's okay to be super rough and just focus on the focal points of the composition
Oh
for
yeah,
rendering.
of course. Like, I mean, that's actually something that I used to do a lot, uh, but I kind of forgot. You know, like I got into this mindset where I think like you have to like render everything to death, and it's stupid. Uh, and again, like I mean, this is just me. I'm trying to be like I'm trying to loosen myself up and not be as tight because I realize that when I'm just flipping this, oh my gosh, I haven't flipped it, now it looks like shit now. Jeez. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no. I got so many layers. I'm not even like painting on one layer. I'm just painting over shit all the time. There we go. Yeah, it's like it's just a look, dude. At the end of the day, it's just a picture. Like if it doesn't come out perfect, so what? It's just again, like I was saying, it is just a picture,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
end of the story. We're not trying to save the world here.
It's
And if
what
people,
I'm liking is that now towards like we've hit now once we've started hitting the 2 hour mark, it's like this has become a draw and paint along session. So you're painting, I'm painting. Got Alexia in the viewers chat that's also busy painting and
yeah,
drawing.
no, I mean that's perfect, dude. I mean that's how we. I want to actually do a lot more of these where it's just like like I'm just painting. Where like I'm thinking of doing more, like not an art hangout or anything like maybe, but just a normal hangout with artists. The problem I have with this helmet right now, it's just like the cliche of like fantasy helmet. It's like
You mean Skyrim helmet.
no, not even like it's just a cliche. So I'm gonna do something else. Let's try something like this. This is like, I'm actually just thinking that the previous one was better. Yeah, that's much better. Sorry. If you like the horns on the helmet, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna be back in 2 seconds.
I think I'll probably be working on this thing a little bit after I'm done, and then I'll post it later. I'll merge this thing down.
And I'm back. I just have
I
to go
obviously
finish
need to work on my characters a little bit more. That's what I feel like. Do you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm just gonna merge everything down. There you go. Whoops.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge, man.
So, a bit of a silly question, but what's your favorite brush in your entire toolkit?
The brush questions.
Like your one brush that you go to start the painting with, and that you always end up coming back to.
I don't think brushes matters. Like, I mean, but I do have a favorite one. Like, it doesn't make, like, there used to be like this, a lot of like people making fun of like, oh, what's your favorite brush? I've got the Magic Paint Dragon brush. You know, just brushes is everything. You know, you gotta make a good art. You gotta have good brush. You know.
I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in practicing. Just tell me what brushes you use so that I can be good.
Exactly,
You know?
dude. Like, but uh, with that said, I do think that you know, like, it's a tool like anything else, and it makes the work better. You know. Um, so I would say the one that I'm busy with now, which is like the go-to brush. It's just a standard chalk brush. Let me show you. This is what it is. That's my favorite brush. It's just a standard texture brush. I mean, if you want to go into like the mixer brush, then you can do some magic with that. And that's the brush I used to get all the, you know, the environmental stuff done. But the go-to painting brush is just the standard chalk brush. That's my favorite, I think.
Hey, here we go with the neons again.
Yeah, so I just showed you a little bit of the brush.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty nice texture on that brush.
Yeah, so look at this. I'm painting a little bit of stuff in here, and if you loosen up with it, you get a bit of grit to it, and you know, it mimics texture, so mimics detail. It's kind of what you want, isn't it? Like, you want to have like a little bit of a...
You want that little bit of textured roughness.
Yeah. Here we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. It's starting to feel like something. be like, okay, cool, there we go. Don't want to go too crazy though. But zooming in too much.
Zoom,
But
zoom,
there we go.
zoom.
There we go. Perfect. And the horns are gone because horns sucks,
They
man.
just didn't match.
Why do you want to put horns in stuff? What is this, like Skyrim? This is Knights Templars, man. Ain't nobody got time for horns. You know?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, precisely. And I'm literally just sketching now to mimic some stuff, you know, detail or whatever you want to call it. Gonna keep it very rough because this is not a, it's not supposed to be anything good. Or
Oh, it's not supposed to be anything good.
well,
Then
that's what I'm.
you kind of missed the mark on that when you started.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be rough and loose, and
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be for anything specific. No. Problem is that shield is a little bit weird. There you go. And I'm gonna move my sword back this side. Yes, but no. Let me just erase this. I mean, I zoom in and out all the time because it's probably because the way that I'm sitting.
Yeah.
I don't really have enough space. Like my arms. It's not really the best way to work. My arms are raised, so I can't use large sweeping brush strokes, which I should technically be doing. So instead of like moving my arm, which is a better way of working, I'm leaning back painting with my arms a little bit too high in the air because my chair is too low. And therefore I zoom in and out all the time. I know, it sounds like an excuse. I need to stop coming up with excuses, but there we go. This is starting to look a little bit better. Just gonna how many people do we have here? It's probably just 3 of us. Probably Andrick has already left because he's like, this guy's just drawing. Not that they're doing anything important. Shared run is still, yeah.
Sorry, I had to run quickly. We had sirens going off outside, and then my dog started barking. So I had to go look what was going on, but there was nothing there.
Okay, we're still looking for that caption, the best caption.
Still counts as one.
Oh, okay. So
As I wanted to say earlier, like with the piece I started on my site now, I'm working completely zoomed out, even though my canvas is 4,000 by 2,000.
mm-hmm.
I'm working with it zoomed out to 12%. So it's rather small still on my screen. Like I
Yeah,
can't really
that's
make out any detail.
mm-hmm. Some cinematic lighting here.
Yeah,
You know, like it doesn't really make sense in real life, but looks cool. You know, as long as it looks cool.
that's pretty much it. It's the same as with the. I remember there was with the Witcher series. There was quite a bit of chatter going on Facebook about the way that he was holding the swords and stuff. And then there was a blacksmith who specializes in making props for film.
I
And
saw
then
that video. Um,
yeah,
oh no,
it's
dude,
about
I love that video. I'm one of those history nerds that goes crazy, like if shit is not accurate. But I'm also on the other side where it's like sometimes, dude, shit just needs to work in a movie. This is entertainment. It's not doesn't have to be super realistic or anything like that. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to hit all the marks. That's what I'm trying to say.
just has to sell the message of what's happening on screen. It doesn't have to be
Yeah, this is
100%
this is
accurate.
this is entertainment, dude. It's not. It's perfectly fine if you don't. You're never gonna, dude. You're never gonna be able to replicate everything, because even if like this dude says like, "Oh no, man, this is like historically accurate," and you've got it all wrong. That's like a 16th century this or. Um, I do that for shits and giggles. I also do that because I just find some stuff that irks me. Um, but then some other stuff I'm perfectly okay with it, which kind of makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, But
Yeah,
um,
that's I sometimes like to. Brent, yes, we're going to be streaming regularly. Raymond and I did tonight's stream to see how to set it up and to get things rolling, and this was our first one. But it will be quite a few. There will be a lot more streams, and I'll try and get more artists and stuff. But I think maybe using the live stream as a draw session sort of thing might also be a cool thing. So if we have a couple of people who join in and we have like 4 or 5 artists, and this is just me throwing ideas out now, but maybe have their screens up on, and then you can see 4 or 5 artists in like a draw party, and you can see their screens, and they're all just sitting and bantering like we're doing now.
yeah, sounds like a good plan. Yeah. I'm trying to like I've always been the guy that was like, hey, you know what? I need to like work on my YouTube side of things and marketing, and I've always sucked at that. And I'm always looking at all these people doing all their YouTube channels and shit, and I'm just like, why aren't I doing that? Like, but then again, I'm a very introverted person, so I'm like, I don't want to necessarily be like doing that as like a full like it doesn't make sense. But I still want to. I think if you have like a daily or like a weekly thing where like this week or every week on, let's say, Wednesdays or Thursdays or whatever day it is, I'm doing live stream studies or whatever it is. Even if you suck at it, you just do it. The first stuff you're going to do in any field or anything like that is never going to be amazing. So, but it's kind of weird how we think about things, because it's kind of like you're not going to do something because you're not going to be, or you're going to think that you're not capable of it. But a fact is that everybody thinks like that with almost everything that they want to do. And if, for instance, like everybody's biggest concern is themselves. It's kind of weird and sad to say it, but everybody's a little bit selfish. Everybody's trying to, make their own Facebook profile perfect. And everybody's so obsessed with the perfect profile picture. But nobody really cares, That's like everybody's so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why do we even care? Like we should just do shit, man. Like,
just get in there and get messy, have fun.
exactly. If it's not perfect, so what? You're not making this for the president of America. Well, especially not that fucking guy. But you're not making this for, like, if I, like this sketch here, like if I screw this up, so what, man? Like, and I caught myself doing this right now, and I'm like, oh, this thing needs to be perfect because all my friends are gonna see this. All my artist buddy that works with me in the industry, they're gonna see this. It needs to be perfect. And I'm just thinking by myself, geez, man, those people worry about the same thing for themselves,
That's true.
And if it's not perfect, so what? Okay, I'll draw another picture tomorrow, and I'll draw another picture after that, and I'll draw another picture after that. Eventually, what I'm doing will be better and better and better. So, and the only person that you need to really worry about is whether it's better than the one you did yesterday. That's the only thing, Look at me getting all philosophical. You asked to talk to me, like you wanted to do this.
Well,
now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. We're getting philosophical.
I'm not complaining, dude. The chat also.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we're a bunch of emotional weirdos.
That's one way of phrasing it.
And nobody cares, and it's just a picture. Like you're not gonna like change the world, like with your art. Or at least I'm not. You might. I'm not gonna change the world. Nor am I trying to change the world with my art. Like I'm trying to make a world with my art. Trying to tell a story. But if people don't read it, that's their problem. That's not my problem. If your cousin thinks that your art sucks, then that's their problem, not your problem. Nobody cares, man. We also shouldn't care.
I don't think any of us really do care.
No, dude, I mean, no, but it's almost like a self-reminder thing that we take this shit way too serious, man. It's ridiculous almost, to a point where how emotional we get because of the art stuff, and how we are afraid to post stuff, or in my own case, it's like sometimes I'm just too afraid to actually do art because what if I mess it up? It's kind of like that thing where it's like art or death. It's like it's the fear of creating art.
It's better to have something that's finished than something that's perfect.
And unfinished.
And unfinished.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So it's obviously something that I've been struggling with for a long time, and like I know it sounds emo and whatnot, but like it's ridiculous how us emotional people can get like
it's also the thing is with creative individuals, doesn't matter where, artists, designers, animators, doesn't matter. All of them are by nature quite emotional because we use emotion to drive our creativity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is very true. There you go. That's nice.
And also, Alexia saying in the chat now is like we're all super self-critical too, and that is
Yeah.
true. We are. Like you've been criticizing yourself too much here, and we're just like, dude, this is amazing, and you're like, no,
Yeah, but here's something else to consider as well. It's like wherever you are in your art process or your art journey, is like what you can see and what you like. You know, is always ahead of where your skills are at. So meaning that you will almost never reach that point unless you're like this crazy narcissistic dude that just thinks you own the world. You know, you will always be like, it's not there yet, it's not there yet, and that feeling never goes away, and nor should it, you know, because that's the feeling of growth. But
yes,
you gotta
well, no,
just accept it for what it is.
exactly. And there's this one comment now in the chat box from Brent saying one of our lecturers when because Brent and I did a year of college together, and the lecturer said to us, "There's only so many times that you can draw a bad picture."
Did he say that?
Yeah,
What
he
does he
did say
mean
that.
by that? Like I'm.
It's like you can only draw a picture bad so many times before you start
Oh.
drawing a good picture.
Oh. Okay.
You will get better and you will improve.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. But you will see, dude. You can be super skilled, and there's just gonna be one day where life just hits you. Some shit happens, you know, and you still have to produce good art, and then you're still not going to be able to produce the perfect art, you know. Sometimes, but even then, your art needs to be at a level where other people look at it and be like, okay, this is great, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I've been there before as well. Although it was with design, so
Doesn't matter.
but still the same.
It's a creative thing, you know. Where so I don't care about this part. Yeah. So this is just super messy. And as it goes into the center, like the highlights and stuff gets brighter and more luminous, I guess, because you've got a light shining directly down. Okay. I might have to dial that back though. Let's see. Yeah. No, let's keep that there. Let's make this a sword. That's not a sword. This is a sword. Yeah. I think we're good. What do you think?
Yeah, dude.
What do we look like?
Jeez, you can send me this picture. It's officially gonna be my wallpaper.
Is it?
Yeah, this is becoming my wallpaper.
Oh, that's great, dude.
If you don't mind. I mean,
I don't mind. Like, I'll send you. I don't even know if it's big enough. Let's have a look. It's small, dude. Oh shit, sorry man. Like I didn't like I was just like just crop a bunch of shit. It's just let's see.
yeah, dude. I actually love this, and no, this is just me looking at it.
I'll
But
render it a little bit more for you so that it looks a little bit higher
uh,
res.
what I'm looking at this, right, and why I love it is that you've got a backlighting, like a middle backlighting
That's
going,
a yeah, back top lighting, quite
which is a quite commonly used Hollywood lighting, which
Mm-hmm.
is fine because it works.
Yeah.
Then also, what I really love about it is that you've got the story clear. You've got the focal point clear as daylight, and you've got a nice environment and framing, and the whole thing just works together. And you put this whole speed painting together in basically 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, okay, you do this for a living. That as well included. So you're used to working fast and getting the concept down and getting the message down and then building on from there. But the whole piece just works. Zoomed out, zoomed in. You know exactly that you're looking at a guy standing in a battlefield. He's tired, his shoulders are slumped, his sword is down, and there's just this whole massacre happened around him. That's why I love it. There's a story.
mm. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, it's an okay story, I guess. Let's see. Nah, that's not working. It's very rough, but yeah, it's
I think the next time that that we stream with you, we should do some creatures.
have I done any creatures lately? You can try. I don't we can always try. Not that I haven't done. I'm trying to figure out if I've done any. I haven't. Let's see.
What I'll do is I'll send you the PSD of the piece I'm working on my side, and then you can look at it and you go, okay, I'm gonna put a creature in there, and then we can see what comes from that.
Okay. Oh, trying some. I'm just trying some messy, weird stuff now. So don't we?
No, that's okay. Now, this is normally the stage of the painting where you try things to see how it looks.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I'm adding a little bit of color at the just in this, just a teeny tiny bit.
Dude, that your that's awesome. Like that blue is really, or whatever, green,
It's
yellow. It
I think
actually
it's.
doesn't matter. The color that you're adding is just punching the story that much
Do you
more.
want to see a cheap trick, dude? Let me show you something cool. Let's see. Hang on. I'm gonna open up another painting or a
Okay,
screenshot.
okay,
I'm gonna open up a screenshot from a movie. Okay. Check this out. So I got this. It's a screenshot from Kingdom of Heaven, right? I'm gonna grab this whole thing. I'm gonna merge it down. Actually, I should not have done that. Let's group everything. Duplicate the group. Then merge it down. I know there's a shortcut for that, but I'm old school and I love struggling. I'm just gonna crop it. Delete all this other stuff. But then, you see I've got just one layer. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna match color this thing. Adjustment, match color. This is like a big cheat thing. Like, if you want to like come up with quick color stuff, and then you select the. Let me just see if I've got the right one, which is 18. There we go. Boom. You match that color. See? But that looks like shit. So let's do that again with some settings. Image adjustment. color lookup is something else. Match color, select the source as the other one, right? So now I've got this. And up here you've got different settings. I can change the luminance and color intensity. I'm going to push the color intensity, push the fading down, push the luminance down. And you could come up with quick color things like that.
Dude! Yo!
That's witchcraft. I know.
Brent saying he's not allowed to do that. Shoot him or something.
You said, what did I say about like cheating and shit?
Exactly. There's no such thing as cheating. There's only shortcuts.
There's only witchcraft, dude. But I'm not doing it.
Alexia saying, "Yep, totally sold his soul to the devil." Dude, so since you sold your soul to the devil, right?
I did not.
When you come to hell, just bring some beers, because I'm lonely down there. Since I kicked the devil out of his throne.
The devil ain't getting no credit for this shit, dude. Sorry, bro. Maybe next time. Nah.
But yo, that was amazing. Like, even though the colors were quite a bit over the top there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It
but
still looked good.
It's such a quick way to come up with quick different color schemes. It works great if you use. Let's see. I want to go to resource. Let me just wait. I should not have that. Actually, there it is. I'm going to open up this quickly. I'll see if I can find something cool now. I'm going to look at some old master paintings. All right.
Hey, yeah, we're going back in history again.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see if I can find something. Yeah, open with. Let's try this one. Look at this painting, right? So it's not. I mean, obviously you need to kind of stay in the same realm, you know, of like moodiness. You can't go to super colorful. You still have the same thing. Okay, okay, so let's try the same thing again. Image, adjustment, match color. See that?
Yeah.
That gives it almost a daylight feel, you know, like it gives it like something else entirely.
Yeah, for me the stream is busy switching over now to.
You'll see it in a bit.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a delay. There, I'm seeing the match color is coming up now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Right.
Now that looks amazing.
I'm just gonna do this. But now, I don't like it that much. It's, I mean, I like it, but I don't like the intensity of it. So I'm just going to dial back opacity. And you'll see some elements of like color popping up everywhere, you know? And now it's not just that black and white thing. Now you start to add some colorful elements and whatnot. This is absolute cheating, man. But I don't care. And then I'll just grab this and I will basically just erase some parts where I feel like it should be darker. So I just want the color, the light. I don't want to go over top with it. That's what I'm trying to say. I still want to keep what I have, but now there's just a little bit of like extra pieces of color here and there.
I would go as far as saying this is one of those instances where, given just my preferences with design and design elements as well, subtlety is key.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely.
Because I know with my creative style, I'm very minimalist, and I would prefer to get the message across with the bare essentials only, and then after that, see if I want to add or not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here, just
But it
adding
should
that
still
little.
always be the same. It should
Yes.
always still be the same thing.
Mm.
Let's try something else now. Find myself like, man, I've got so many of these brushes that.
And now that you mentioned brushes, the big reason I deleted nearly all of the brushes I had and kept only like, oh, let me see how many I have here. I've got 18 brushes in my Photoshop, and the first 6 is your stock standard Photoshop brushes.
No,
The
dude, I've
first
never used those.
first 8 is the stock standard ones: soft round pressure, soft round opacity, and a pressure. So it's your stock standard 6 that just has the pressure and opacity settings,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other 12 is brushes from other artists that I use. And the one brush that I keep coming back to all the time, which is my favorite all-time favorite brush, is the one from Alex Negria's brush set called the Rund Heart 603,
I've not used that. I
which is
remember. I
basically
remember some of his brushes. I tried some of them out, but
it's basically a stock standard round hard brush with a little bit of a texture and a little bit of size on the pressure, and then an opacity adjustment. And with that one brush, I can get nearly anything done that I want to get done in my painting.
yeah. Everybody's got like a lot of people use the round brush. I love like my stuff to look gritty and like painterly and whatnot. Like this kind of stuff. Um, Absolutely, my one of my favorite styles is this, similar to stuff like Justin Sweet's kind of stuff. Like, man, that guy can paint. Anyway,
Yeah. It's like, and here's the humor towards the end of the stream. My Photoshop stopped working properly now,
is
and
it?
so I quit, and then I said, no, don't save.
Yeah, that
So,
happened to me last week as well. And,
so the piece I was working on for the last half hour is gone, which is fine by me because it was literally just it was still very messy and stuff. There's nothing lost.
yeah, ach, it's okay, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that
perfect.
actually reminds me of something else that I remember. Is like I was when I was working with this one guy, he uh, he lost quite a bit of work, and then he had to recover the file, but the file was broken. And if he had to sit there and try and fix the broken file, not the actual file itself, but the work, the rig, he was doing a 3D character rig.
Mm-hmm.
And to try and fix the rig would have taken him longer than restarting. So I asked him, how long will it take you? And he was sitting with, like, he was this about to give up. He was like, fuck. So I was like, dude, how long will it take you to restart compared to how long it will take you to try and fix your rig? And he's like, well, try and fix it would be about 2 to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
To restart and rebuild everything will be a day and a half. So I said to him, okay, in that case, compare your time. How much progress are you willing to sacrifice to get back where you were? Just restart, discard the whole thing, destroy it all, and start from scratch. And then that was also a day where I learned sometimes it's just better to burn it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know about paintings. I'm Yeah, I mean that thing with like closing it and then accidentally click on the no save, because one of my shortcut keys is Control W, right? So if I Control W, I flip it around, right, and just save it. But
Yeah, I actually need to
if I Control E, I delete layers, and if
yeah,
I
I
Control
actually
Q, it gives me this thing. So
oh wow.
I need to really sort out my shortcut keys, dude.
Yeah, I need to remap my flip canvas to my Photoshop because I hadn't painted for a while, so I never really bothered to remap my painting hotkeys. And
Yeah.
flipping the canvas is actually a trick I didn't learn until about 4 years into being a creative.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first time I tried it, I was like, oh my, this is so useful because now you can see the balance of your piece when you're looking at it from the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done. I'm not gonna, like, this is not, like I said, this isn't a crazy painting.
Says you.
No, I mean, it's not supposed to be like a,
For me, like if I were to be the one painting this and where I am right now uh, with my mindset and my creative skill, I would call this an ArtStation portfolio piece.
nah. this is, this is, this is good enough for Instagram.
Shots fired. Keep in mind, my job is making adverts. My day job of animation and design is
Oh,
making
I
adverts
didn't aim
for
that towards
social
you,
media.
dude. Like, I didn't
So
aim that towards, oh, dude.
I'm finding that hilarious as hell because it's true.
No, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I like, if I offend, like, generally, like,
No,
I,
you didn't offend me. You just made my day.
oh, okay. I say some dumb shit sometimes. Ask Hendrik. Like, I can be.
We all do.
Is he still there?
I don't know. Hendrik, are you still there? Give us a sign in the chat. I just hear crickets.
Okay.
No, dude. This coming back to our point earlier that we raised about egos and stuff like that. Um, I'm really not attached to social media or any of the social media content out there
Oh no, dude.
unless it's something valuable. And also because I make ads, a lot of the time we test really crap ads to see how people respond to it. So
Yeah.
I've been involved with work that is horribly badly done. And excuse my bad English there, but like both you and I are first language Afrikaans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like the advert is horrible, but then it brings in so many sales, and we're just like, why is this piece of bad creative
Because it's.
returning so much investment?
I know the answer to that.
What's the
Are you
answer?
ready for it?
Yes.
Because it's stupid. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Nine times
It's,
out of 10, that is the actual reason.
you are not catering. Like, you should keep in mind, it's like, it's all about target audience. So who's the person that watches that specific ad? You know.
That is true.
It's not. It's not you. Like, it's like, also, I mean, there's also, it's not everybody is like us, you know. Like, I'm a creative bloke that that watches documentaries all day. Like, I don't care about Binnenlanders. Okay, I don't care about that. Don't care about you know, the news. I don't watch that stuff. I keep an eye out on, like, political stuff, but I don't comment on it. I'm not gonna try and save the world. You know, it's not my place. My audience is this. I'm also not even catering for, like, the science fiction blokes, you know. So I'm like, this
Yeah.
is. I mean, I get a lot of criticism for, like, not doing science fiction, or mainly doing, like, why only doing fantasy art? Because I like fantasy art. That's why. I do art because I like doing art. Do I sometimes like doing other stuff aside from fantasy? Yeah, sure. You know, like, can I do it? Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. But this is my thing. You know, this is, like, I think you should always be able to do something, but you should never be forced to do something unless you get paid to do it and you said yes to it. You know, that kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Oh wait, we were talking about something else.
I don't know, dude. We were talking about why bad creative performs online quite a lot of the time.
Oh, because
Uh,
uh, yeah, I
Hendrik
don't know.
is still in the
Is he?
he is still in here.
What a guy. What a guy. See, that is what a good friend looks like. But anyway,
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
in that
like,
case, I would also say that Alexia, who's joined the chat here, because uh, not only because she's an artist herself, but she supports a lot of the members of her Discord server,
Yeah.
and she always tries to support them in their art. And so she's here because one, it's art, and two, it's because me being one of her Discord members, so she's supporting the stream in that way.
Yeah. No, awesome. Dude, this was fun. Guess what time it is?
Time to save a JPEG and send it
10
to Neal.
o'clock? It's only 10 o'clock? What?
Oh, only 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Time to start a new painting.
Yep. Let me get some coffee. We're going to start the next one now.
I'm actually going to say I'm
No,
going to clock out.
I think this is it, dude. Like, this is it. This is fine. Dude, this was fun, man. I mean, we're totally going to do this again. Talking shit all day.
My fiance is like, love, it's past your bedtime.
So, bro, that's some amateur hours, man. You need to level that stuff up. Like, bedtime is 3 o'clock, you know?
Yeah, but like 3-4 o'clock in the mornings.
Oh, yeah. No, either way. Dude, this was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks,
Thank you. Thanks for everybody that joined us. Like, it's probably like, what is it, 6 people?
at the moment, but we were clocking an average of about 13, 14 viewers for the most part. Yeah, so, and we didn't even think we'd reach that much. We thought we'd have
like 3 people.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad start.
Yeah, when you upload the video to YouTube and stuff, please just drop me the link so that I can share it on Pixelsmith Studios.
Yeah.
And that I can make noise on the platforms about the link and about this stream.
This video that I just recorded is probably going to be like 50 gigs big. I don't know. How big are stream videos normally?
It depends on your settings. If you set it up to record lossless, you're looking at about 50 to 100 gig.
Dude, I don't have that much space on my computer.
What you can do, actually.
I think it should still be in the the stream will still be on Twitch. So I think I can just download it from there.
Yeah, you can, or you can highlight the entire stream. So once the video is on Twitch after the stream, go into your channel manager and then make a highlight, and then you highlight the entire stream. So then the whole video will stay on Twitch in your channel. So even if you're offline, people can come back and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea. Hopefully I'll be able to actually save, because I remember I did some streams some time ago and I was like able to download it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can't download it or so, then I would say highlight it on your Twitch channel, because this is a high quality stream for the content that is in it. And this is me speaking now from a marketing perspective. And I think that what we discussed in here, especially in the beginning of the stream and towards the third quarter of the stream, it's really valuable information for artists, even the ones that have been doing it for a long time. It's nice to sometimes be reminded of the small things that make a big difference to us on a day-to-day basis.
Hey, good to hear that, man. Yeah. Let's see if we can actually figure this shit out, because I need to work on my faces, bro. I just see a little bit of a beard, but yeah. Okay, cool, man. That's it. I'm gonna stop it now, or I'm gonna stop. Cool. I'm just gonna stop streaming, and then we can have a bit of a chat afterwards as well.
All right, cool. I'll catch you.
Thanks everybody for joining. It was great.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Catch you all in the next one.
Cheers.